today's coverage of the Rocket League grid. It is RLCS time, RLCS X, and we have got this top 16 teams in the whole of EU fighting it on out. But, of course, today we are in the group stages. The 4 teams in our group, of course, alongside Wolves, are going to be Vodafone Giants, Endpoint, and Guild. Now, a lot of G's I've just realized in there. But to kick things off here, when we look at this, Aiden, I'm really excited because I'm looking at the rest of this group and going, we've got teams that might not be on the top of their game at the moment. So there's a strong possibility Wolves could literally be a wild card in this group, and I love that.
Oh yeah, you could go and call Wolves a wild card, but I think that the displays that Wolves have put on, especially in that closed qualifier, the way that they played against Solary, which last split was a top 10 team, they made it look very, very easy. They only conceded 1 goal, scoring 11 goals in the 3 games that they played in that best of 5. And I think that they can take the competition to any of the teams in their group. You know, Giants not really sitting so well on their form at the moment. They're very up and down, you know, since they dropped Tox, got Itachi in. Finding it hard to find their form. Guild Esports, of course, now with Devo instead of Scrub Killer. They're still trying to find, you know, their click. And Endpoint, of course, I would say are maybe the more dangerous team in that group at the moment, as they haven't changed too much. And they're always a difficult one to play against, given they have quite a unique playstyle with Virtuoso playing very aggressively and getting those physical plays in.
Yeah, so to just wrap up, to give your games in orders, guys at home. First of all, we face up against Vodafone Giants. After that, we'll be facing up against Guild. And then last but definitely not least, it'll be Endpoint. We move on through to tomorrow, same place, same time here on Wolves Esports. But it'll be a single elim 16-team bracket. And today, what we're basically playing for is seeding for that. So every win does matter. Whilst you can argue, at the same time, you know, you're safe into tomorrow and anything can happen. Seeding is very important. Like when we look at other groups, and like I'm taking a look over towards Group B, for example, here, Aiden, where you've got Galaxy Racer Redemption, Renault Vitality, and Triple Trouble. I'm looking at Renault Vitality saying that's a team which I expect to come out on top and it's going to be scary. And the same with a lot of these other groups. Group C, I'm looking at Oxygen there. Group D, you've got BDS. So I would, if you're any team, not want to come bottom of your group, because every single team is scary that will be coming out on top. And even then, you've got some wild cards, like in that Group D, you've got Top Blokes over in Group C. You've got Singularity, who might just be having a day. They're very up and down, but on their day, they can be scary. The same with Fade Away there. And Group B, the same story, Galaxy Racer, or even Triple Trouble. Triple Trouble last season having an absolute belter of a time during the grid. Maybe not during those regional tournaments, but in the grid alone, Triple Trouble were outstanding. So here, Group A, for me, is the most contested group. There is not a clear-cut top or bottom, is there?
I think, you know, Wolves coming into this, you know, as a new roster, I think this is a group they'll be happy with. Of course, it is very much a contested group, as you would say. Group B, Group C, Group D have got some very obvious strong candidates. And, you know, if you follow much on Twitter, you know, the past couple of weeks, there's been this whole argument of NA is better than EU and all these things. Or NA is definitely more competitive because there's not a lot of, it's very contested at the top half of NA, whereas in EU there's some very clear winners. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole NA EU debate, obviously, because you can never say unless these teams actually play against each other. But I do agree, in EU we have some very dominant teams, especially with BDS and then Vitality right behind them. But yeah, Group A, it's good for Wolves. Giants Gaming, of course, you know, they are the main name in this group, I would say. But they, of course, have changed their roster, and with a new player coming in, it's always hard to find your form and your play style. You have to adapt now, and that's sort of where they're at, a little bit of a team in transition.
Yeah, and you're saying Giants? I'd actually go Endpoint as the scariest threat for me. So that's why this group for me is so, like I said, there is no clear-cut top or bottom. Because even then, when you look at Guild, their first outing with Devo was actually quite a decent one. You normally give that very first tournament a little bit of a a look over. You don't really give a damn so much purely because the team's adjusting. But you're right, Giants came up. I think it was third in the first regional split, and then Guild didn't do too bad themselves. I'm trying to find them right now. Came about, I do believe that's the 7th, 8th joint spot. So again, very strong showing for them. So anything could happen. It just comes down to on the day. I can imagine as well when you're looking over towards Guild and Giants today, they might be trying out some new tactics, considering that it's a day which they know they're going to be moving on into tomorrow, and they might be a little bit cocky and overconfident in their capabilities, especially Giants right now. When you look at that young squad where Stake and Zamway played absolutely brilliantly last season, Itachi has come in absolutely hot to the side, so they might be a little bit overconfident, and that's where I think Wolves need to strike here, Aiden.
Yeah, I think, if we've been watching Wolves now, through the open qualifier, through the closed qualifier, and Wolves, I think, are starting to brand themselves as a very much an offensive attacking team. Now, any team that is not ready from game one, from minute one, Wolves will put the pressure on. And if you're not feeling comfortable, you're not feeling confident, you haven't figured out, how to play as a team properly, and with all the roster change that have been happening, which is, I guess, when you say at Endpoint is the more scary one, that it's of course a team that they've been together for a while, and but yeah, it's going to be interesting. But of course, we are underway, and it is actually already 1-0 for Giants, as Itachi shows just why Giants picked him up.
Yeah, that is quite frankly a fluke. You never see that even at the lowest end of Rocket League. That's one which Giants are going to be thanking their lucky stars about. Wolves, though, they've got to come back strong, make sure that that was just a fluke. It's actually not being able to connect with that one. Lewis P, though, we didn't get to see much in the solo department back during the qualifiers. He was playing more of a team game, but they're showing off that he can do it. And again, that is the beauty of this Wolves side. Every single player has got solo mechanical capabilities, but at the same side, they're still so aggressive and are looking for passing plays off each other.
Yeah, they are incredibly aggressive. We saw a lot in the opening close qualifiers, those half rotations coming out. Once they get forward, they mount the pressure and they box their opponent in. And they do look for these very intelligent passes. Even when they're right in front of net, they don't make the obvious decision of just banging a shot away. They look for their teammate on the other side of the post. And it catches a lot of people off guard. Now, I'm sure that Giants have probably gone through a couple of VODs to look at what Wolves have been bringing to the table since they formed as a team, and I'm sure they'll be well aware of the kind of tactics they'll be using. Wolves also, known a little bit for being a bit weaker in the back. They've started to improve there a lot, though, in recent games, and right now it's Lewis P trying to put some pressure on here, looking for an attack, but it doesn't really come to anything. Rick's Ronde now, as that third man, always trusted at the back, will get that wide and away, but at the moment it's a bit of a midfield battle, bit of a back and forth, and bit of a stalemate.
Well, yeah, when you look at these two sides, quite similar in their play styles. The only thing I will give Giants is that they have that slightly stronger attack. So you look at both of them, and it is understandable. They're looking for control of this ball, control of the boost right now, as well as just gaining so much ground. Finally, a nice couple of ideas for these passing plays inwards, but cut out so well by Zamway. And that shot on the line, Lewis P, you got to get that way, lad, and he does. Stake trying to keep this pressure, and you could see, and I expect this for the entirety of this series, sudden bursts of energy where these teams are trying to catch each other out, and Itachi has just caught us out. Unfortunate there, but well played Itachi on this one, it's got to be said. Playing it low and slow.
Well, Giants had a bit of an up and down in results recently in the field, and now, though, in the grid against Wolves here in game one. They are looking very strong, looking composed. They've had a majority of possession, not really had many questions asked them at in front of their own net, and they're able to sort of play it around Wolves at the back. Wolves looking a little shaky in defense, but it's now Oli putting the pressure on. Stake, they're not able to get away. Itachi will play that wide. Stakes there, just getting the beat on Lewis P. Zamway going up quickly, trying to knock this one down. Lewis P under this ball, puts it into the middle, could be risky, but Oli will get there in time, but it can't get it past Stake. Lewis P going up to challenge that one. The bump coming out in the midfield onto Itachi, and there's an opportunity brewing here for Wolves. Only will he force it through? Zamboy's there, and he keeps it out, and the score somehow remains 2-0.
Yeah, but look at this pressure from Lewis P, keeping it in front of the box. Means that Vodafone Giants can't just run away with it, and now they have to stay back a little bit, looking for that midfield congestion. Steak just there in time. Lewis P, can he wrap this around? The shot on target for Zamwe once again in the net to keep it out. Good pass over towards Oli, but Itachi kind of on in, and Itachi has been absolutely massive for this Vodafone Giants side today here, Aiden, but Oli denied once again. The lad should be on a hat-trick already, but no, he's disallowed.
It's just the strength of Giants. They're so composed at the back. They're not panicking at all, and it's rare, you know, when you put under the kind of pressure that Wolves can bring, when they're coming in quickly, coming hard and fast, then you expect some teams to crumble a little bit under pressure, but Giants well-versed, very experienced. They've been around for a while, and they're not letting that pressure get to them. They're looking really neat at the back. It's very tidy play from them. Oli again trying to test and get a little bit of a vibe check on that backboard. Lewis Speedo down the right side will be able to get it infield. Itachi's there again. Zamwe will knock this one on Itachi, using the wave dash to keep it. He's got 0 boost, gets it past 1, trying to get it infield now. Will manage to do so on the beat, on the backboard. Zamwe's up. That's going to drop back down into the middle, but it will fall for Rix Ronde, and that attack will be thwarted, and Wolves will look to get a counter going.
Wolves been looking in control as well for the past minute. Just got to keep out, try and find a route to net. So far, it's been very well managed in defense from Giants. That low ball, Lewis P only just getting a touch to it. The ball put out wide. Oli and Lewis, you got to get this away, lads. You got Rix Ronde downfield. What is he looking to do with it? Pop it back to Oli, but no, that's cut out by Zamwe. And again, Giants' control of the ball in the midfield is something scary, but what you got to look at is naturally just keep up this pressure. Itachi, that is a very ambitious dig deep. No team would do this normally.
I think for Wolves, they got to write off this game. I think already once they hit that 2-0, you can see that Wolves not really feeling comfortable and maybe not going into the game with the right game plan. They will probably take a little bit of time to reorganize themselves and readjust to adapt to the Giants' playstyle. Giants dominating the ground play, keeping that ball close, and whenever you've got the ball close, you're putting pressure on your opponent because they have to do something, and that's what keeps baiting Wolves a little bit out of position, and Wolves often left with just one man back on the net, and Giants shooting actually has also been top-notch, but they are juggling the ball around now. I think Wolves are just saying, come on, boys, just drop the ball. Let's go to the next game.
Look,
what
rule
is
one,
the
buddy.
point?
Rule one. You've got to follow it no matter what, right? But you're very right. It is just that case of, for Wolves, a lot of their pace comes from only leaving one man back in defense, and they're looking for a clutch jump across. So here, I am a little bit worried because I look at the way Vodafone play and say you've got to move up in pairs, you know, and that I just don't think would play to Wolves' style well at all. So it's that sort of case of we're going into unknown territory, and Wolves have just got to come up with something on the fly, and it's got to just be creative, sudden bursts of attack.
Well, Giants, they've been controlling the game, slowing it down. And what I see from Wolves is they play very high pace. And when you play high pace and then your opponent knows you're going to do that, and you're going to start throwing yourselves into challenges, they'll play it high, they'll keep it close, they'll go for 50s. Wolves maybe could do well to throw in a few more fake challenges. Didn't see a lot come out there in game one. The fake challenges could bait Giants into taking a touch which would maybe be a little unfavorable, a touch that they maybe would rush and not want to take. But Wolves will be interested to see how they adapt here in game two, because they really do need to adapt. They want to get something from this series.
They do indeed. Oli's already got the ball down to the corner, and Rix Ronde is coming out with the first goal. 9 seconds on in. Wolves have begun.
Well, as we've seen in the past, Wolves only need one goal to get them going. Once they get that taste, they are impossible to hold back. It is 1-0 for Wolves, and Giants getting a very early goal in game one. Well, Wolves can do it too. And for now, though, it is Steak with the carry in the air, taking that to the backboard. Zamwe's going to hold that up in midfield. Rix Ronde will react well, just away. It's on target, and it will be 2-0. Rix Ronde, Super Rixie as they call him, What a read on that.
And a Superman shot from that far up high off the ceiling. Rix just doing the unexpected, and this is how you beat out the Giants. Get creative, lads. Well done, Rix there. 2-0. Now that's a little bit of a safety net. Hopefully that can give the lads confidence, and you can see Rix is absolutely full of confidence. He is beaming.
What did I say? You give Wolves one goal, you've made your mistake. That's it. You can't let them get that confidence, because once they start shooting, 3 goals in 33 seconds. Wolves Esports taking a great lead here in game 2. But still, the majority of the game is to remain. And of course, Giants did score 3 goals last game, so it's definitely not done. They need to keep this up.
Yeah, Rix Ronde already with that hat-trick, averaging 11 seconds a goal. Of course, now that's going to go, I wouldn't say to waste, because we love it nonetheless, but he's not going to be able to keep that up, let's be honest. Itachi putting the shot off towards the backboard. Rix with a good block will send that off wide, and it digs deep. Zamway's got to get this away. Rix, again, is getting so confident. I'm a little bit worried they might be a little bit overconfident, but again, those charges, Giants don't really have an answer for. They like structured gameplay.
Well, Rix there trying to get it away from his crossbar. Stake trying to put some pressure on Lewis P. No problem, deals with it just fine in the midfield. Only going up to the other side. Wolves struggling there to keep the possession though. Stake's going to take it back in the midfield, and now it looks dangerous as Itachi comes flying in just wide of the post. Now had he got that angle just a slight bit to the left, that would have been a goal back for Giants Gaming. Lewis P with the carry downfield. Itachi a little bit caught under the ball, but doesn't seem to be a problem for him now as he fakes out 2, and that is actually ridiculous.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta appreciate what your opponent puts down, and the lad there, Itachi, definitely deserves some appreciating. Whilst we do love Wolves, and we'll big them up, sometimes you just got to say, you know what? That's impressive. Take some credit. Oh, close there again from Rix. Trying to see off what Itachi did and basically one-up it.
Well, said once Wolves went 3 goals ahead, they need to keep up the pressure. They need to keep playing, because now Giants have got a goal back, and that lead, it's only 2 goals. 2-goal lead is not a lot in Rocket League. It can change very, very quickly. Lewis Speedo looking for Rix in the midfield. Rix having a bit of a hard time getting out to it. Does manage to get contact, but can't get it past anyone. And now Itachi goes up again, gets the flip reset. It's on target. Rix Ronde with the save. And Itachi really the danger man for Giants. Both Stake and Zamway playing more supportive roles, but Itachi is causing some real problems for Wolves. Those air dribbles, you see why they're becoming more and more meta in the highest level of Rocket League, because you're so easily able to outplay more than one opponent, and creates a lot of pressure because you've got to jump to contest it. You've got to use boost, and when Giants now, they're getting forward, penning them back, it's hard for Wolves to get the boost back. Every single time they've got to jump to challenge, and it's now also hard to get out and mount a composed attack.
The shot coming on through, and Itachi does connect it. I see that in chat. It does sort of feel like Itachi's carrying, but you've got to give full respect to the teammates as well to enable him. Zamway there just off the backboard looking super threatening. Defender had to go up in case. But of course the real danger was Itachi, and quite frankly, when you got a player of that caliber, of course Giants are just going to be feeding him this ball. Oli's got a nice shot there though, but once again Itachi today is on absolute great form.
Definitely a good pickup by Giants, letting go of Tox, but replacing him with Itachi. Definitely an upgrade in my books. Stake getting demoed there by Lewis P, and now Lewis will be able to turn for this one, but with low boost, not a lot he can do on that wall. That wall just a little too far off the wall. Rix Ronde trying to stay with this one as well, but can't keep the pressure on Stake because he didn't manage to get 50, but Oli will retake possession. And the Wolves just struggling to find it infield. There's a good pass, but no one's there. Oli, of course, Lewis P, of course, sitting a little deep in case Giants get back on the counter. Oli now with a shot, saved by Stake. 1 minute remaining. The pressure is on Wolves to hold on to this lead. They're not sitting back protecting it. They're still getting forward. Only now on the line. Zamway just looking to sneak that one underneath. Stake's going to keep this one up. Itachi going up, looking for that double tap to get it back in field. Does manage to do so. Only reads it well. And now the clear coming from him to try to go the other way again.
Scary moment right now. 30 seconds left to go. Wolves still ahead. But Giants on attack after attack after attack, and Zamway now will approach the ball. That's a big boot downfield, but Lewis P cuts it out well in the mid. Stake, again, just looking to prod, try and beat one man. Oli, it's down to ground, Itachi with a shot. He's crossbarred, it's out, but the follow-up, Lewis P, you absolute tank in defense, keeps it on out. Oli looking to run it. Boys, get this ball to ground, take the win, don't need any more, and Wolves tie it up 1 apiece.
Well, I can imagine that only Rix and Lewis have just started to sweat a little bit here in game 2. A 3-goal lead, it's never ever safe. Yeah, look at the amount of shots that Vodafone Giants had there. They had 16 attempts. It was valiant defending from Wolves Esports. A couple of clutch saves coming out from Oli and Luis, but of course Rick's also picking up 4 saves. And you know what? Usually we see Oli, the danger man on attack, and Rick's Ronde, the stalwart in defense. But I think the roles were a little bit reversed here in this game. And you know what? It worked out quite well because they did manage to sneak this win through 3-2. And on they will go to game 3, and hopefully Wolves will hold on to a bit of momentum, but having conceded the last 2 goals, still looking a little dicey.
It is indeed. Like, there's not... You look at that and Wolves did get the win, but I don't want to dampen the mood right now, but you got to look and say the final 3 minutes were sort of Giants in control. They just could not get that 3rd goal. So whilst I'm happy, Wolves have just now had a masterclass of a lesson in defense, having to deal with attack after attack, especially from Itachi. They just got to pull out very early magic once again and then look to recreate what we just experienced. But Itachi is just looking to run it around everyone. His only problem is his teammates are just not on the same page today.
Well, we don't want to dampen the mood indeed, but we've got to stay realistic. This is Rocket League, and this is the highest level of it. And Itachi indeed absolutely carrying Giants in this series. Zamway and Stake, maybe they're not on the same page, but maybe they're just purposely playing a more sort of supportive role, allowing Itachi to go for those offensive plays, to use his mechanical ability. We can't say that, Zamway and Stake don't have it. Seen some great ball carries in the air from them. Lewis P not getting anything on that one, and Itachi now has the opportunity to play down to Zamway. Zamway will take it back to the other side. Itachi looking for the bump on Lewis P, won't get it, doesn't get it on Oli either. Rick's Ronde trying to get that transmission play, but blocked by Stake. Oli will finally get the ball back, plays it over to Rich Ronde, but denied by Itachi in the midfield. And I think the main point here for Giants is they contest that midfield oh so well. It's very, very hard for Wolves to get those passing plays downfield and break out of their own half.
See what Lewis was trying there. It was a bold move, and unfortunately it didn't stick. The fake out. Oh, it's good. Moving out wide, but again, you're scared. Itachi off the ceiling here. Rix does get the block. Stake looking to follow up and gets the hit. Lewis P past one. Zamway will pick this one up. Now, he needs the options, but he has no one there, so he's going straight for net, trying pressure that defense. Itachi popping it down when Rix has just got the connection. Only with no boost, wanted it to just sneak on under, but Zamway keeps it on out. Stake run it. And such an even game between these two teams.
I mean, I've got to compliment Zamway there. Just as before Wolves started that transition play, he read it, he saw it coming, he went all the way back to his net, and he was in a great position to defend and get the ball back for Giants. And it's a highly contested game here in game 3. I think at this point, both teams have figured each other out. They're understanding the play styles. They know what to look out for. And game 3 is now just about chipping away at each other. It's Giants who have had slightly more possession and slightly more chances than Wolves, but Wolves defending very well. And I love to see this from Wolves, given how shaky their defense had been in the open and closed qualifiers, conceding a lot of goals and relying on outscoring opponents, but now clearly able to deal with the pressure that Giants are bringing.
It's because this Giants pressure is actually quite predictable. Notice either Zamway or Stake, one of the two, is very deep back in defense, and that's to allow Itachi to just near enough run rampant as the second man in the rotation. So those two are working with each other, and again, this just allows Itachi, but that means you just got to focus on where the ball's going to be for Itachi, and then also look for who's coming on afterwards. But that bump, oh, I didn't think Itachi had it in him.
Well, it's Itachi again, and he's really, really dangerous this series. He gets it past Rix Ronde, gets the bump as well, just to make sure that Rix gets nothing on it. And, you know, as you say, Zamway will stake sitting a little bit further back, and I think, as you say about the predictability of Giants, is that there's a lot of solo plays coming out because they're not pushing too high as a 3, whereas Wolves tend to do that and look for deep passing plays. Giants, though, that individual skill is really shining at the moment, especially from Itachi, and 1-0. It's only one goal, and Wolves, however, will need to find some possession. They will need to get the vibe check, and it is there, but Zamway is going to clear it away. And the transition play again for Giants, and Wolves a little thin at the back now. State passing it infield very, very well. Lewis B reads it though, gets it away, but can't get it past that halfway line as Zamway's there to bang it straight back. State looking for the pass up to Zamway. Let's go bad boy, looks for the double. It's on target, but it drops right down onto Lewis, and Lewis deciding just to bang that one away rather than taking a little bit of time. And I think he was looking for Rix Ronde on the wall there, but directed it straight through the middle rather than to the side.
And you just look at how low on boost Wolves were here. They tried to run it downfield. Lewis all the way down, Oli there, and unfortunately no one being able to get it out in time. It was a moment of feeling not only safe with that ball downfield, but then not having anything to come back. That sort of sudden realization. Nice idea coming out from Lewis there, but yeah, just landing on the opponent. Killed that attempt at attack.
Well, Wolves pushing forward now, only 20 seconds on the clock, so maybe another write-off here, even if they get a goal now, maybe too little too late, but they do hit that upper 90. Rix Ronde can't force it through, and Zamway says, not today, my friend, as Giants look to hold the clean sheet here in game number 3. Only going up really quick, trying to change the outcome there, but no, that ball will drop, and Vodafone Giants hold on to yet another clean sheet. That is 2 in this series, dropping 3 goals in game 2, but game 1 and 3 now, Wolves not able to find the back of the net. And while Vodafone Giants having somewhat less shooting opportunities than game 2, still significantly more than Wolves, and given Wolves are such an attacking team, this does not play to their favour.
It does not at all, and I am legit worried. Vodafone Giants are looking massive today, and it's all down to they're just playing this so safe. You look at their defense, and nothing seems to be able to break through it. Thus, this is when you start going. Just bring out the demos, bring out that boost starving. But boost starving is going to be incredibly difficult because Vodafone's trying to do that themselves, right? So those demos, you kind of need boost to pull off. Otherwise, you've got to pull somehow string together in a straight line 2 front flips to be able to get up to pace, and that's only just on the borderline of supersonic speed as it is anyway. So it's a super difficult job. I will say though, I am still, even in defeat, so impressed by this pickup in defense and a lot of midfield control coming out from Wolves here today. So I'm just excited for what we're going to be able to see later on as well.
Indeed, Wolves have improved so much on defense. Of course, their offense has been lacking in this series, but you know, as you say, Giants playing it safe, but they get forward quickly here. Only one player back on net, and Oli, he wasn't really sure how to go about this one. It's a 1v2. It's so hard to read. He hits the brakes, loses all his momentum, and there's no chance for him to stop that one.
Yeah, State was in the blind spot there. No idea that he was coming on in, especially with that long jump. And Oli just had all eyes on Itachi, who's basically got the majority of their goals. So you can't blame him on that one. Rix, though, is to Lewis. A beautiful connection. Brute force it into the corner.
Oh, you know what? You've got to give it to Rick's Rondo there as well. Just getting that one down to Lewis P, using the ceiling to bounce that ball back down. And it was a bit of a mess at the back there for Giants. You're saying they're playing very careful at the back. And, well, it was not good comms, I think. They seemed to be a little bit all over the shop. Not really sure what day of the week it was during that play. But Wolves get a goal back. And it's good for them because last time they got a goal in this series, they went on to score 3. Of course, now they've got 4 minutes to extend the lead. It's Oli, will make it 2-1, and Wolves take the lead here in game number 4.
Great read there from Olu, chasing on, bring it in close, knew he wouldn't just be able to go straight for the shot, has to instead bear hug that ball to net, and he'll be able to convert it. It is only 48 seconds on into the game, mind you, but Wolves are in the lead. Now they've got to sort of repeat that game 2. Keep ahead. Don't rest here, lads. Keep that confidence high. And definitely with that last goal, you'd help Oli would be able to keep his confidence high because he definitely needs to pick it up, I feel.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, Wolves, the one thing they need is just to get a bit more possession in these games because Giants keep getting the pressure. Lewis B gets a demo on Zamwe, but it's not enough to relieve the pressure. Itachi's a fantastic pass. Zamwe just gets the beat on Lewis P, and Giants right back in. This is 2-2, and this game 4, very, very important for Wolves. Their hands are going to be very sweaty by the end of this one. Hopefully, of course, they can pull through, but Giants are incredibly strong at the moment. Stake defending very, very well, not allowing Rick's Ronde to get that over him. And every time you do think that Wolves are starting to build some pressure, Giants just so composed about it. It's a great flick, though. Itachi will get in the way. And this man is on fire at the moment, Itachi, on both attack and defense. His mechanical ability just proves to be the dark element of Giants against Wolves.
Yeah, and you just cannot see through the murkiness. Where do Wolves head here? Itachi on a solo run once again. It is scary. Still got 30 in the tank. But big save coming out from Lewis, who's looking to wrap it around. Rick's Ronde is there. The save from Stake. Just got to find a third hit, a third man to play. But that is asking so much in every single scenario. The chemistry of Giants, where they've been playing together for such a long time. You think that core, the two, Stake and Zamwe, are focusing on that defense. The new lad is just fitting into the attack, and that is such an easy adjustment for this team. On the opposite end, Wolves is still a very young squad together, yet today, by all accounts, they have really been working on their chemistry. They have been hitting the books and scrimming hard, and you can see it, Aiden.
Oh, you can absolutely see it. We saw so many double commits coming out during the qualifiers, and I don't think I've really seen many today. There was one little slip up that led to the second goal for Giants, but in general, comms looking good, looking fairly organised. Great pass over by Oli, but Lewis P just pre-jumping a little too early. Can't get on the end of it. It's going to pop into the middle. Wolves deciding not to contest that one, allowing instead for Itachi to play that ball over the Stake and then to contest that one. Oli doing well in defence there. That's going to the backboard. Rick's running up a little too early, and Stake on the end of it, and it will be 3-2, and Rick's a little bit of a whiff from him. Maybe just waiting for that bounce a little longer would have allowed him to get something on it. Stake punishing that mistake, and Giants taking the lead.
Yeah, you look at that. Odie had so much confidence in Rick's that when the whiff did come on through, he couldn't react quick enough, unfortunately. Just got to pick yourselves up, lads. Still 1 minute 30 in this. Tons of time for a comeback. Never say never. That's a great pass on out. Rick's looking for Oli. Not going to be able to find it. It's actually getting that second touch off the wall, and Zamwe going to be able to knock it deep down into the Wolves defense. Great pass there. Oh, you can't help but be jealous that Giants were just able to string this together so effortlessly.
I think that Wolves are trying to play sometimes too quickly, and you saw that Lewis P rushing to that ball, realizing he's getting beaten a little too late, turns back, takes himself out of the play, and it always hurts to see that. But Giants, the quality of them, it's what is forcing all these mistakes from Wolves. And you can always go and say, oh, well, they made a mistake here, they made a mistake there, but Giants doing very well to force Wolves into awkward positions on low boost. Oli now trying to play that infield. Rix is there, going to look for the pass back. And that was the start of something that could have been beautiful, very well orchestrated, but Giants so calm, and while they're putting it to bed here, and Samway makes it 5-2.
Yeah, dirty demo coming on through, gets rid of Rix, and no one's home. Rix was last man, of course, because you're throwing everything into attack there. And so 3 goals, 48 seconds. Whilst it's not impossible, it's got to be said, it is highly unlikely. Wolves just use this now as some great practice. Try and just work on that attack. They've got to bring out the demos as well, I feel, because right now, you look at the lads at Giants, and they're just unimpeded. They're just being allowed to play their own game, and this is something that Wolves need to pick up on and just start trying to hurt them a bit, you know?
There's absolutely so much space on that field at the moment between all the players, and while that works out for yourselves when you're on the ball, it's going to give then a lot of space to Giants when they get the ball back, and given Giants are so competent at winning the ball back in midfield every single time they get it. Look at how long it takes for Itachi to be challenged here. It does not have a hard time getting it into a dangerous position. Lewis P forced to clear that through the middle, and Samway's there again to just keep it going, and it could have been 6-6 there for Vodafone Giants. And, you know, I'm looking back at game 2 thinking, well, Wolves managed to start turning the series around. They did bring out quite some demos in that game, and they sort of dropped off that physical style and then went on to lose the series now. But I don't think we can be too sad. We know already Giants were, what were they, top 4 last split? And
third, last split. Which, just, you look at that and go, it was very close. The big difference maker was just Wolves' capability to halt Giants. And you're looking at that. Wolves are on form today. I made the statement early that Oli needs to step it up, and it's not necessarily a capability, it's just confidence. Oli is very similar to I would even say Itachi, where to get the best results out of him, he sort of needs to be fed quite a lot of just passes and given full confidence to go and make plays and get creative. Here, when you've got Vodafone Giants in that controlling position where they are dictating the pace of the game, dictating a lot of the boost, Oli just near enough turtles up a little bit, and you can't blame him because he doesn't want to just rush ahead of the team and then be caught completely off guard, you know, leaving everyone else high and dry. He's trying to play this team game, but the whole thing is, when you're in those positions, you've got to try and turn it around and have near enough like a piercing player, like how Itachi played, right? Where he's going to be striking that initial blow, and then you can see either Zamway or Stake just getting clean-up shots. I'd love to see that from Oli come on through. We saw it was very effective at the start of game 2 with Rix Ronde, but I feel Rix is much better utilized as that sort of third man sitting back and directing the gameplay, right?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much got to agree with you on most of what you said there. And you know, Giants, the one thing that I noticed that they did very well that Wolves almost didn't do at all, and the reason why they have so much pressure, so much control in the midfield, is they keep that ball close. Every single time they get the ball back, they don't bang it away. It's very, very rare that they search for these really long passes. And I know that Wolves, that's a bit of their style, is looking for these long seeking passes, then playing it back in field. But the problem with that is the moment a team knows that's what you do, they hold a player a little deeper. They had Zamway and State quite often sitting on that midfield line with a lot of boost and no real physical plays coming out to put them under that pressure. They would then go up, intercept those passes, and then they've got possession back. And every single time they got possession back, they keep it close, they go for dribbles, they go for air dribbles, and that creates pressure then on Wolves, because Wolves have just used a load of boost to try and get on the transition. They get forward very, very quickly, and sometimes too quickly. If they would just slow it down, sometimes control that ball, then they'll be able to have a bit more of the possession and maybe buy a bit of time for the team to sort of recover themselves, pick up a bit more boost, and feel a little more sort of comfortable going forward. But when they, of course, had those plays cut out, you'd end up with one man back, and some, you know, that one moment, for example, where Oli, he ended up hitting the brakes in that 1v2, lost all his momentum, and there's just no real chance for you to save that. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but of course, Giants, all respect to them, they're a fantastic team, and it was great to see Wolves going up against them here in their first series of the grid.
Yeah, and you got to say that, like, when we're going up against what was probably the top seed coming into this group in Giants, it's a very respectful first game. And just like when you take it, it's a warm up game as well. Well, not a warm up game as such, but it's one to get a feeler. Wolves can go into the next two, probably heads held high. When I'm looking at Endpoint, I'm thinking right now, at the end of the day, I think Wolves will be able to deal with that. It's going to be a lot of aggression on their behalf, but they're going to be able to find those gaps in defense there. When you're looking at Guild, who are still trying to structure themselves, there are going to be ways to be able to break through. It's just that very, very concrete defense. Now, we've got a lad in the call with us, of course, Juicy. How do you think the team played there? Like, just straight up, a simple sentence to be able to condense everything before we get into the real questioning.
Better than yesterday would be the best one. The lads know all about that. But I don't feel like we played bad at all. It was we played our game, but the Giants' defense was looking very good. I mean, we definitely had a few big chances, even in the games where we ended up losing, and it felt like they could have gone in. But today it was just their defense being stronger than our offense.
And looking at that, we saw like loads of creative plays being tried out, but we haven't got to see many demos. Now, is that a actual choice as the team? Like, do they just not feel comfortable playing with those demos, or is it just a case of trying to stick to your own gameplay style rather than play counter-attacking?
Yeah, I feel like we still want to. We're still in like a phase where we get used to each other, and every single player has a certain decision that they make in a certain scenario, and that is their comfort. And we're still trying to figure out where everyone's comfort is at, and what the plays are that they like to play, so that everyone's on the same page when something happens. So then, if you were to go full on demo mode and full on virtuoso gameplay, then that's probably not going to work out for the better. There's certain scenarios in which we do look for them, but then those scenarios need to arise, and that didn't really seem to happen in this series.
And what we noticed is Giants, they were going for a lot of solo plays. Itachi was looking really good for Giants today. What did you tell the boys to sort of deal with that's kind of pressure?
Well, it's tough because I feel like our defense is one of the places where we struggle most currently, mostly in terms of making sure that you don't double commit. It's harder than it looks sometimes, but especially when someone's going flying at your backboard and then another one is trying to do flip reset. It's split seconds in which you need to make the decision of who goes. So I think that was one of the biggest issues that we had today, and we didn't even really get around to tackling that. It's mostly about transitioning towards offense effectively for us.
I mean, having watched Wolves over the past couple weeks playing in the qualifiers, I mean, it was quite apparent that the defense was the weaker side, and in the qualifiers it was just outscore the opponents.
Yeah,
you were half rotating, you were keeping pressure on, sking loads of goals. It doesn't matter if we concede 4, if we score 6. This was the first time I really saw Wolves under tons and tons of pressure from Giants. I think it was one game Giants had 16 shots, and you didn't concede that many goals given the amount of attempts that Giants had. So would you say that your defense has come a long way since the qualifiers?
The thing is, we enjoy playing that offensive style, and I think that's where we are in our element. And of course, you're gonna get certain gaps where the opponent are gonna capitalize on it. But you say it perfectly. We play a style of Rocket League where our aim is just to outscore the opponents, and that's how we'll win our games. And then if we don't really get to our scoring opportunities, that's when we really struggled. And that's what you saw in this series versus Giants, where like you said, they were able to keep up their offense. And defense isn't only about making sure that the opponent doesn't score. It's also about putting yourself into a situation where you can go in towards offense yourself.
And Well, will that playstyle work against Guild coming up next on stream, or even Endpoint? Because I'm looking at that going, we're just going to see what are going to be some super exciting matches, because high attacking teams going up against each other are always great fun. It's when you've got two very defensive teams where it can become a little bit of a slog and a bore. But here, where the entirety of Group A are very attacking, maybe not Giants so much, but that's with the changes with Itachi coming on in. But are you expecting better results coming out against Guild and Endpoint? Were Giants just the team that you knew coming into it would be the most difficult opponent?
It's tough because everyone is so good. I mean, it's a top 6 team that we're talking about here, and the fact that Redemption, you know, one of the weakest sides, upset Vitality in this first round already. That already says enough to me about how strong the entirety of this grid is. But I feel like, you know, Giants is always going to be tough for us because it's like the same, but also the exact same opposite as how we like to play, in the sense that we both like to be so attacking. And then if they manage to keep their pressure onto us, I feel like at this moment we're not good enough yet to get out of that and you know, actually put the pressure to them. But with Guild, it is different. Guild plays more, it's at least against us, on the counter attack. So I mean, be prepared to see a lot of offense from us, and you know, just trying to outscare Guild.
I feel like that could be a very exciting game with a lot of goals. Because if you guys are trying to go all out attack and putting the pressure on, and they're very counter attacking, then, you know, it's one of those games where you just be trying to outscore each other, I think.
Yeah, I mean, which is great Rocket League, right? That's super fun to watch.
Yeah,
it's fun to watch, absolutely. It must be very stressful for you and the players.
100%, yes.
Well, guys, it's got to be said as well, whilst this is great fun for everyone to watch, we are running giveaways this evening, aren't we? So make sure, everyone, you head on over to Twitter as well as Instagram, as well as here on stream. Drop a follow, you know, a like wherever it's relevant, because we've got some little goodies being given away, and I think we might even have a little video to show this right now. So I'm going to just let that run in the background whilst we head on over to a break. Don't go anywhere. After this, we'll be seeing Wolves face off up against Guild Esports.
Welcome Tizo.
Welcome Tizo.
Welcome Tizo to our global headphones partner. From ears to heart.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving on into the second series of the night. It'll be Wolves versus Guild. I'm Digital Bacon. Join me in the commentary booth is Aiden. And Aiden, my dude, that first series, whilst it is a loss, and you just gotta be realistic, it was actually a very good showing from Wolves. We're going up against the top 16 teams in the whole of Europe here. I mean, when we look at Giants, they're definitely a top 4 team. by all credit to them. Guild probably up there, and Endpoint in that sort of top 8, top 10 area. Wolves coming on in as a new squad, had to make it through open qualifiers, through the closed qualifiers after that, against some of the teams that were in the grid last season, breaking on through that and putting on a very solid performance there. Very close series up against Giants. I think for their first showing in the grid, Wolves have got to be proud of themselves, don't they?
100%. I mean, this is such a young roster. They've only been playing together for a few weeks now. And we watched them in the open and closed qualifiers, Bacon, and we saw that they were far from perfect at that time. And they had a lot of holes in their game. They dropped a series to teams which they really shouldn't have. And you can now see how far they've come. And when they were under so much pressure from Giants getting almost 16 shots a game. And Wolves not really conceding that many. Of course, yeah, game 4, I think they conceded 5. But for the rest of the series, it wasn't like they walked all over them. And Wolves are clearly improving. And to go up against what was last season, or last split, a top 4 team, Giants have been around for a long time. Very, very good players, very experienced players. And not only experienced, they've also now got Itachi, young guy, but has shown his quality at Barcelona when he was there. And now here at Giants, he's absolutely popping off, and they've really sort of built a great team around him. And I would be scared of Giants no matter what team you are, whether you're Vitality, whether you're Galaxy Racing, going up against Giants is scary. And Wolves went into that with confidence, and they took a game off them, and they should definitely be proud.
And whilst we're saying Tachi might be, say, considered still very young, he got his debut season in the RLCS last season with Barcelona, now over onto Giants. You've also got to consider he did qualify technically back during RLCS Season 3, which then he got disqualified because he's a Moroccan player and was playing on the EU servers, but then was disallowed because it's not within the EU. And that was a whole hoo-ha back. And then we had... I'm trying to think, it was Penta step on him, wasn't it? That season, or was it Red Eye? I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's still that point of Itachi has been known within the EU bubble for a long, long time, but it was just when he moved eventually over to France last season, where he could play them with Barcelona because it's done off residency. He was then able to show everyone his real quality, and it was that point, straight away. And I remember it last season, if you remember, Aiden, it was like, who picks up Itachi? Because everyone wanted the lad, and we saw in that last game exactly why. He was the difference maker for Vodafone Giants. And I mean, considering that we're now seeing their rise to that very secure top 4 spot, it's got to be said that it's got to come down with Itachi, which... when they made the transfer last season, everyone probably thought they were a little bit bonkers, right? Why would you drop Tox, who was one of their biggest strikers and a great goal scorer for the team? And they went to the side, brought on Itachi, and it has not hurt them when, you're in a period right now where you thought every single mistake would be shown. But relatively speaking, this is such a sound defensive team, and then their attacks are still so scary.
Indeed, I mean, we can talk about, when dropping Tox. I think that his time at Giants was slowly coming to an end. You could see they weren't gelling as well anymore. And Tox, apparently, I mean, don't want to talk too much into it, a little bit of an attitude, and that can sometimes bring the team morale down. And when you're a team that's, should be looking to get titles, once you're top 4, top 3, that's the point where you should go, we should be able to challenge Vitality, we should be able to challenge BDS, but there seems to be quite a big gap between those teams. And I think to close that gap, they needed to change the roster. So brought in Itachi, and Tox went to Solary, and Solary, well, where are they now? Solary probably thinking this is a great pickup. Solary fans probably thinking this is amazing. We've got Tox now, we're going to be better this season, and they weren't. And so Giants definitely made the right call.
Yeah, not being able to make it on through the closed qualifiers, which probably hurt them quite gravely, I'd say. I mean, we faced off against Solary in that very first match of the closed qualifiers and 3-0'd them 2-0, 3-0 and 6-1. It was a very convincing game for Wolves. And again, this is a team which still many would consider to be a top 16 team, because they are of that quality. They just couldn't play on the day of the closed qualifiers. But That's enough for Solo. That's enough for Giants. A team that are in a very similar spot, and we're facing up against them next on stream, is Guild. Dropping Scrub Killer, which many would be, consider almost a sin, a previous world champion, and bring in another previous world champion in Devo here. So two very old guard players by a lot of respect. I mean, Scrub not being able to play until season 5, I do believe it was, of the RCS, but that was just because of age. He'd been playing since I can remember him on SARP when he must have been like 8 years old or something like that. Absolutely craziness. But here, bringing in Devo, and for me, this is a bit of a weird, I wouldn't say sideways moves in a lot of cases, but it's one which is very understandable because you're already seeing the guild camp sort of pick up morally, right? Where Tho and Nolly are always that solid two, and it just comes down to having a third man that can mesh with them. So Guild are probably going to be playing quite a weird, and I'd imagine unpredictable game because they're still learning to play with each other, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think that Guild have made actually a very, very smart decision. Scrub is known for being a little bit arrogant, and that's because he has quite a lot of achievements at such a young age. He deserves in some way to be that arrogance. Noli and Tho also have some attitude issues. Gregan has a hard time, keeping them in the voice chat. And I think that bringing in Devo, it's a more experienced, it's an older guy, bit more level-headed. He's known to be quite a good guy to have in your team. And I think this is just a good move for Guild. And, well, results at the moment are showing that. We are underway here for game number 1. It is Wolves Esports versus Guild. It is, though, under pressure from Lewis P, getting that to the backboard. Rick's Ronde going up early. Wolves looking to put this pressure on right from the start.
Yeah, and great early pressure coming on out. Good defense coming in strong as well to be able not only keep Tho away, but Nolly as well. The pass over the bricks is fan-bloomin-tastic! And he's only gone and done it. 26 seconds on in. And Wolves take the charge. They take the lead. And they take a goal.
Well, you saw Guild trying to come forward. They were passing it left and right. The 1-2s through the middle, looking dangerous. But Wolves thwarted it and then got their own passing play. They said, wind that in and we'll show you how it's done. And they make it 1-0 with only 30 seconds played. Guild, though, back with the ball. Tho going up and it's on target and a quick 1-1. Guild bouncing back almost immediately.
This was a very nice move. The pass, very simple, but that redirect from Tho. And these two lads in Tho and Nolly have been playing together for so long, and you can see why. They've got some great chemistry with each other, and their attacking is so incredible. Devo on the opposite end is such a great defensive player, and he can also throw in the attack as well. So, like you said, it was a very natural change and one that we think is going to reward them. But right now, we got to get something out there. Where was the last man to the defense? Everyone caught downfield, so confident in the fact that Rix could save it, throw on the demos on top, and that is a scary attack.
Yeah, that demo, I think he was on Lewis P on the wall there. That's what caused a lot of havoc at the back. Rix was alone, and you have milliseconds to respond to these situations, and Rix was already made the decision to go and rush down his opponent. Not too much he could have done. He had to contest that ball quickly. But I think this series, we're getting 6 goals a game minimum. Both these teams love to attack. You've got Guild, a very counter-attacking team, and Wolves are the complete opposite. It's all-out attack, and that means that every time Wolves will fail to string that attack together, Guild have that perfect opportunity to strike forward. Both these teams going to look to score a lot of goals, and it will be a question of who can outscore who. But it's fantastic play through the middle. Lewis P looking at that double, but he sends it far wide. Could have been another goal there, and it probably still wouldn't have gone in. It falls now for Tho, looking for a double tap back on the other side. It's on target, not quite. Lewis P wasn't going to get to that one. Only will now play it wide, and Wolves try to take control of the game.
Well, you look at it, it's because Lewis P was actually covering the net there. He played it safe, just couldn't get that ball away. And thank you, though. We'll take that, buddy. If you want to be our 4th man, feel free right there, going for that save. That should have been a goal. Nice little touch as well coming out. Aggression found use of demos for them is very scary, it's got to be said.
Yeah, indeed. Noli there putting some pressure on Oli, and no one really there to follow it up, though just taking his time, waiting for the touch from Lewis P, and he actually gets a good read. Devo is able to keep that pressure on, and Oli trying to get it away again. Rix Ronde just rotating out a little slowly there, waiting for maybe the pass from Oli. Rix Ronde now in the middle to challenge, though, but Oli's now the only one back. He's got to do something with this as he bangs it to the right side, but Devo, fantastic reactions there as he denies that ball out of the Wolves half, but finally Rix Ronde has found an outlet in the form of Oli. Can't get it past Noli, though, and Lewis P isn't going to get a beat on, though, either. Rix Ronde will hold that possession up in the midfield. Oli going to follow it. That's going to go to the left side. Lewis P getting beaten again, and real back and forth at the moment, and ball is switching sides very, very quickly. So are both the teams.
Really looking to charge onto that one, but Devo gets the save. Rix, again, use of the wall. Just trying to stall time for his teammates to get back, and they are in defense. Going to be needed once again. Lewis P beaten by Noli there, and again, this is so dangerous. The lads not being able to get any clearances through.
Yeah, again, Wolves not really stringing together much possession. I mean, they're giving away possession rather cheaply at times, and Guild are kind of doing the same, but they're just managing to keep that ball in the Wolves half just a little bit more. The clear's not really coming from Wolves as it's not getting good hits on the ball, maybe due to positioning, maybe due to being low boost, but it's a tough start for Wolves here in game one. 3-1 at the moment, 2 goals down, still a minute to play and everything to play for.
Yeah, and it is a scary time right now, but 2 goals in 1 minute, like you said, absolutely achievable. Just got to be able to turn Guild on their heads, though, going for a cheeky hit, but Oli reads it well. Lewis P 50-50 into wall, and this is when you got to charge. The pass from Rix down to Oli, back looking for Rix, but Lewis P is found. Oli as well coming on in, and this is a work of art.
It's absolutely brilliant play from Wolves. Scintillating stuff from the boys. 3 passes? I think Oli got 2 touches on that one. Managed to get it over the line. And that's a goal back. And now they're within 1 goal. They've got to be careful, though, almost being unleashed straight from the kickoff. Rix Ronde now, though, with the drop down. Devo, he will pass the vibe check. And those on the other side. And that counter-attack from Guild. Well, it worked out. It's a long clear by Devo, though waiting downfield. And that will be the 4-2. And all that hard work done by Wolves undone within a few seconds.
That don't feel good at all. Got to look for a quick few seconds. A kickoff goal basically nearly found from Lewis P. They're not saying die to this game. They're going to keep their heads up as Devo wants to get a clearance on through. Lewis P putting it down into the ground. Keep it stuck in the corner is an interesting thought there. But yeah, 10 seconds left to go, 2 goals, a little bit too much to ask, but definitely seeing glimmers of hope here for Wolves. It's just going to be about trying to control Guild. We can't play, once again, like we did up against Giants. You've got to be looking to control your opponents, not let them control you. You look at Guild with all their counter-attacks, they could suddenly just find a high exit path there. We saw Devo straight to low off of the backboard, and how quickly it just soured there for Guild's 4th goal. You look at the pressure that they're able to maintain by just using that midfield line and rotating so precisely upon one another. And you've got to be looking at this now as the Wolves lads and go, right, where do we create opportunities? Because you can't just sit around and wait for them to arise.
No, absolutely. And I mean, the thing is, Wolves, they play this all-out attack kind of style, which commits a lot of players to the attack. You see, every time they go forward, they use everyone in the team. The beautiful goal to make it 3-2, it used all 3 players, and that brought all 3 of them into the half of Guild. Had they not scored that, they would have been in another risky situation. And the way that Guild play is actually a very good play style against Wolves, because Wolves do commit a lot of people, and you play on the counter. You're strong in defense, you're strong in front of your own net, you win the ball back in front of your own net, play a long pass downfield. You got someone like Tho waiting downfield, and it's going to be dangerous. Devo now providing some danger from the pass from Nole, and Guild playing very, very quickly, playing that ball with those sharp passes downfield. Wolves surviving the early onslaught, and it's Oli with the outlet, denied by Tho. And a fiery first 30 seconds to game 2.
Lewis P going to be able to keep this out to the side, the demo and the pinch as well, so that's going to be massive to get that ball away. Rix Ronde is up, the shot was put on, but Nolly denies, and he's still lurking downfield, trying to get this redirect. Well weighted from Lewis P. The patience on the lad was incredible. Self-bumps coming on through from Guild. So it does show some of those lines, their pathing around the pitch is not the best in Rocket League, because they're just looking to continuously rotate on around you. That's where those demos probably aren't as effective against Guild, but you can use them. Try and get them a little bit tied up on their own shoelaces, as Oli definitely not getting tied up at all. Comes off the ceiling. Just easily able to get that away, but you've got to be looking for each other here, Wolves.
I see some interesting positioning coming out from Wolves as well. I see second man following very closely behind first on defense, and just wondering, is there maybe some comm breakdown, or is this sort of a stylistic decision? But there's a demo on Lewis P at the back. Rix Ronde's rushing back. He's done very, very well to defend that one. As Guild set up yet again another very quick, dangerous counter-attack. Oli just wave dashing off of the car of his opponent just to avoid that demo. A very creative use of the wave dash. But it is the ball back with Guild. Lewis P will get the touch over Tho, but Noli will come in quickly to challenge Oli again. Lewis P playing that up the wall. Oli's going to let him continue that play, but he ends up just banging it long back to Tho, and now the pass to Noli. Denied by Oli. Oli and Oli. I said, it sounds so ridiculous.
Noli, Oli, and Tho. It really is a whole tongue twister between them. It almost feels like children's nursery rhymes, right? But Lewis P, can he finish this off? No. Devo stops it right there. He's been a brilliant, almost goalkeeper here for Guild, hasn't he?
I mean, yeah, and Guild, although they've got Tho, he's yet to score though.
Oh, love it. Love those. Well, he has been absolutely fantastic. But Devo getting into the attack as well. Not going to be found. Still 0-0. I can't believe it. We're expecting some real high-scoring games, but these two sides just not being able to etch out a goal between each other. Good demo choice coming out. Devo's going to retreat on back. He's got no choice about it. This is a nice positioning shot, but no, not going to be able to find it. What on earth? Thanks, lads. Sure, we'll take it.
Oh, dearie me. Devo's had an absolute mare. He's seen his opponent come rushing in. He's thinking, I'll try and get a block on the hit. Maybe get a bump to send it away from the ball, but the only thing he's bumped into is the ball itself, and wow, he's putting the back of his own net. Well, you know what? We take those. Let's go 1-0. And Lewis P immediately looking for the 2 to double the lead. This time saved by Devo, making up for earlier errors.
Yeah, ball out towards center. Rix was there, but just not able to reposition himself to it. Though with the pass back, and Devo, a whiff. Not able to get high. This is a great pass down to Oli, but he's just got to put the shot on. Wanted to dribble it. Bear hug the ball to net once again, like we saw earlier. What a back pass! But Devo once again. Such a strong goalkeeper. A gatekeeper, more like, to be able to just keep it closed. 1-0. Wolves still in the lead. You just got to play keep away.
I mean, to be honest, Devo's got to save everything that comes at him now, otherwise this team's going to be having words with make up for that own goal. But it is Wolves mounting quite a bit of pressure towards the end of this game. Rix Ronde is going to bang that one back up. Noli there in his own half. He just pops it straight up. Devo going to play it back down to Noli. Lewis P should be able to get the 50 on Tho. Devo, though, with the slow play. Lewis P completely stopped on his line there, but They do escape that one again. Wolves, Lewis P now putting the pressure on Oli. That's going to come middle. Lewis P looking to pounce onto this one, but can't quite keep up with it. Oli going to drop this one back, and Lewis P can take control. Picks up the 100 boost, got plenty to work with here. Surely this is going to be the last attack for Wolves as the time keeps ticking down. They need to hold on just for a few more seconds to get the game 2 win here, and it is looking good. Still 1-0 up though, trying to keep this ball up. Lewis P going to play that down in front of that Devo. That ball will stay up. Oli plays it back into the centre again. Wolves Esports, the last few seconds pressure. They do come out with a win.
A bit of a sweaty old affair that game too, Aiden. Only one goal, and it was an own goal. It has to be added. But both teams really playing a solid game, just focusing on that defense. And again, it's a little bit weird for us. Wolves focusing on defense. We expect them to just be full sending it, all 3 players into attack, but it's been going well today. We cannot fault it at all. But going into game 3, very little and not much we can really take away from this game. We're even there in game 1. So the plan for game 3, to me anyway, is just completely up in the air. It's almost at the end of a deep dark tunnel. I don't know what is going to be coming at us in game 3.
I think Wolves, really, it's about clinicalism. They've had 10 shots to Guild's 8, and I'd say both sides really just not working that ball enough. They're not getting good enough shots to really test the defense. And while Devo made a lot of saves, sometimes they were a little maybe too easy for him. And maybe he's posing the question to Wolves, say, is that all you got? Well, Devo, you also ran into some problems yourself, but the one goal coming from the own goal, I'm sure Lewis P will be happy to claim that one though.
Scary stuff, but not a shot on target. Rix keeps that away. Oli, look for Lewis P. Ooh, just not placed at Lewis's feet. Bounced off, and Rix going straight on down towards though. Sheer madness there, and Endpoint's left. What on earth, Wolves? Why?
I'm sorry, but I'm not even. Is this the real life or is this just fantasy?
Well, that defense definitely was a landslide there, Aiden. Everyone just slipping away. Oli, I will say, got bumped. But Lewis P on the opposite end, on the back post, just nowhere near that one.
I think it was a bit of Wolves' eagerness to try and, quickly get on a transition the moment they're going to win that ball back. And I think Lewis P had full trust that Oli was going to get it, but he got bumped, and clearly there was no comms, and maybe a case of turning the old ball cam off, and just goes to show, never take your eye off the ball. And I think Lewis P did for a moment there, and that's a cheap goal to give away to Guild, but I guess now they're one apiece. Guild have gotten a cheap goal, and we got a cheap goal last game, so hopefully this one doesn't stay 1-0 though.
Yeah, it's just karma, that's all it is, right? Though, what a good drop down onto that ball. Got beat Nolly here into the crossbar. Those just going to try and teeter our pass, but Oli, what a massive hit, and that's going to be able to go the whole way. So everything is tied up, one apiece.
That is just silly. That is. First of all, he pre-jumps the block on the shot, falls back down on it, pinches it down, gets it past everyone, and Gil don't even know what's just happened. I'm not even sure Oli is. I don't think Oli's still processing that play himself. He's like, how did that's actually worked? We take those. We take those. 1-1.
Great aggression now coming out from Wolves, but this is dangerous with Nolly charging on. Oh, that's something else that's got to be said.
At least this time we had players going towards the ball to defend it.
And it was just down to Nolly keeping it at a perfect distance from that ball to be able to get the second touch, the rebound, and then off the ground again. Like, they are so hard to be able to read and predict.
Absolutely. I mean, great plays coming out from both teams, but also some questionable defending coming out from both sides. Noli now on the end of this, and the pressure still coming from Gil. It's a great, powerful pass infield, looking for Devo. But very well read by Wolves as well to keep the lines clear. Lewis P going up to challenge though, but maybe a bit reckless as he's now completely taken out the play. Will get the demo on Noli at the back, but not too much value in that demo. He tries to come back and demo Devo again. Devo's going to keep that one close, but Rick's Ronde says enough of that, plays it downfield, but gives the ball back cheaply again to Guild, and this is something we're seeing from Wolves today quite a lot, giving that ball away, just rushing those hits. No one they're really looking for with the ball, no real plan behind it, no real strategy or idea with the ball. I think they're just lacking the creativity at the moment, or the composure. Ball given away ever so cheaply.
That is basically it. Task and purpose. We know the task, but is there purpose behind each and every hit? You're missing half the game here, Wolves. And it's just that sheer panic to run it downfield, that over-eagerness to get into attack, not control it. But look at the link-ups here coming through from Devo and Nolly. You said questionable defense, questionable plays coming out. I have not questioned Devo at all in this series.
I mean, apart from the own goal, I guess.
that was also a nollie, you know, so it wasn't entirely on Devo. What a great bump from Devo as well here, but where is this attack coming through? That was so late from Lewis. We need to get a bit more eager on the interceptions and a bit calmer on the attacks.
No, indeed. I mean, again, like it's that lack of calm. Like it's like they're permanently in a storm, and it's like they're constantly in some way panicking. They get forward way too quickly, and you saw the third goal for Guild. It's just Rick's back, no one else to support him, and Guild get into an easy 2-on-1 situation, and it seems to happen time and time again. The Wolves, they need to close the space down early. Lewis P getting the shot away. Noli not really having to move too much to get the save. But Wolves trying to keep the pressure on. Devo now will keep this close to try and play it out, looking for a pit. Oh, he falls next to it. That's just giving it right to Oli. And Oli, my guy, you've got to get it on target. Come on now.
I want to cry, but hey, the game still goes on. 1 minute left in this. Can turn it around. Come on, Wolves. Let's do it. It's Oli. 50-50. Rick's looking for the pass over to Lewis P, but it was a weak one. I'm hoping right now Rick's is stuck around. He went for the bump, but didn't actually dislodge anyone. Oli is very far back. He needs to be able to connect with net and does. Massive moves coming out from Oli.
Right, well, we saw this in game one. We saw Wolves work very hard to get into a 3-2 position, and like 4 seconds later, Guild made it 4-2. Please, Wolves, don't do that again. Learn from that game. And this time, maybe we've got a chance to get the 3-3. And it's looking good from the kickoff as Lewis P does get the beat. And he will play it back over to Ricks. Oli still waiting downfield, hoping for a pass to come his way. Rick's going to pop that up. Oli going across to meet it, plays it to the corner. Lewis P waiting, just lurking. That is indeed. And it happened again. It happened again. At least they're holding good to the 6th goal a game prediction I made.
Was looking so good for the comeback, and then suddenly that little slip up, and I was hoping that to be a quick goal there straight off the kickoff to give life once again, but Rick's not connecting there. Go on, Ricks, put this away. That's a brilliant idea for the pass, but well read in defense from Guild. And now they're just looking to run out the time. Aiden, this game is done, but looking forward, I want to see more solo plays coming out from Wolves, and a second man quickly there to really clean on up. Have that third man back deep, because we can see how damaging the counters come out from Guild. So playing it a little bit safer is not a bad idea. Try and stretch it on out like game 2.
No, absolutely. I mean, we saw against Giants as well that Wolves tend to just bang the ball away a little too often, and they're doing this here against Guild, and Guild are actually giving Wolves a lot more time and space than Giants were, and Wolves need to take advantage of that. The amount of times they've thrown away possession, you know what, they've had plenty of shots, they've had plenty of attacks, but the thing is that it's very rushed, very forced, and that's just lowering the quality of everything that they do. If we compare this to football, 2-touch football, your pass is going to have more quality, more accuracy on it. 1-touch football is quicker, it's more penetrative, but you make more mistakes. And this is what's happening to Wolves now, is that to play at the speed they want to play, they need to be better than they are currently. And at the moment, they're up against a strong team. I think on paper, a team that is slightly stronger, and they need to understand that, and they need to humble themselves. They need to keep this ball close. They need to keep possession. And it's not necessarily just for going for solo plays, but if you've got the ball, you're dribbling it, you've got pressure on the opponent, and you're giving your teammates time to push up with you and support you. And they don't have that most of the time, and that's why I keep giving away possession. Well, we will see what happens here in game 4.
Pop shot put on there by, though. Early has got this ball moving downfield quite nicely. He was looking for the block against Devo, but you see that Devo being able to get a second touch and so much mileage on his play, and he's turned back on it once again, able to pick up the 100, turn around, but that... Oh, I'm so glad that was free. I don't know what on earth was going on with Noli, but we'll take it nonetheless. The straight up run downfield.
You know what? I think that Noli was trying to cut off that passing option that Oli had, but maybe didn't quite realize he was last man. And Oli was sort of, it was like Moses pie in the seas. It just sort of opened up for him, and he could just drill that one in. It will be 1-0 for Wolves. Didn't take too long, but we've seen how many goals have come in these games, and Guild will just get one back. And Wolves have conceded in this way at least 4 times in this series, and Bacon has just fallen off his chair.
Why? Again, these very simple counters coming out. Rick's so far out on the side because, of course, naturally he went to go get boost, but just cover the net, lads. There should always be a man between the ball and your net. And Wolves just not playing basically what is Rocket League 101 right there.
There's just too many holes, too many gaps to get these boomers away, and I mean those are the kind of goals that I would score in my lobbies. I'll admit they're the only goals I score in my lobbies because I'm not very good. But again, another banger. No one really back. And
this is fair. Look at the net and the bumps. Noli coming on in and just basically dislodging Lewis P there, who has to preemptively jump and try and predict it because Noli... Like, that's a fair given. Like, I have no quarrel with that goal. That was just a great little two-man play coming on out from Guild. But at the same time, why are we not sending players on deep into our opponent's half to dislodge Devo? Like, that has got to be a very simple thing right now. Oli not going to be able to catch up on that. And again, that's fair. But there are so many plays right here where I feel like the lads are just playing too basic and simple and not looking to each other to make each other's lives easier. Because again, that's very safe solo play style. Good work right now. We're overthinking this.
Yeah, well, Wolves looking to make a very strong attack there. The pass coming from Ricks, absolutely sniping Oli in the middle, but they just didn't really get the shot away. That final touch, that final ball was not quite there. And Oli just doing some breakdancing there to try and recover as he fell down. It looked good, it looked good. Moves on the dance floor, but unfortunately it's not the dance floor, this is Rocket League. And Oli trying to get that infield. Rick's Ronde's there, pops that one up, trying to get the beat on Oli, looking to fake him out, but in the end, Guild will get the beat again, and it's now Devo keeping this one close, and kind of just left that ball. I think he wanted to pass it infield, didn't get the touch he wanted. Now it's going back wide again, where Lewis P is waiting. It's a good ball into the middle, but Noli is the first to respond, and he will stay with us again. And the reactions from Guild are fantastic. You know, they read where the play is going often before the ball is hit, just by judging their opponent's car, and it's good stuff from Noli. Devo not really doing anything with the ball there, and Wolves may have a cheap one here, but it is Noli to the rescue once again.
It is indeed Noli trying it. Again, overextending this ball. Keep it closer to yourselves, lads. Don't just throw it at your opponent. None of these pop shots are going to work. Only across net, looking for Lewis, but Lewis has just been demoed, so we'll have to respawn on in, and the Doomsy dish from though. It's not
well.
really.
If you've got the time and space to Doomsy dish at this level, you know something's going wrong at the back. And this is another example of all three of the Wolves players being on the same side. No one at that back post. You've got someone at back post. Doomsy dish is never a problem at this level. But it's another cheap one for Guild, and now 3-1 up. And I mean, you can say that, you know, Guild, they look for those aggressive bumps when there's one man on net. But the question is, why is there one man on net? And though we'll make it 4-1, and Wolves are not happy today.
Not happy at all, and there is a silver lining in the sense that going up against Endpoint, we're probably going to have about 25 minutes to half an hour to be able to talk it on out and try and patch it up, because I can imagine Juicy has got a few prime words to have with the lads, because this is not Wolves' playstyle. This is very uncharacteristic, just throwing it towards the net continuously, every now and then trying to jump, which is a little bit more, but just not playing with the pace and just the clinicalness that we see from Wolves. And again, just these hits like that from Oli, what was the purpose of it? Just send it straight into your opponent's hands. Again, Rix is just trying to be a nuisance, so that's fair. Buy a bit of time for Oli and Lewis to get back. But then, what are Oli and Lewis doing in defense here? One day after, one's got it away, but not, again, snappy enough.
Oh.
And no one in net.
Well, though, showing some great control there in the air to get that double tap down. But, I mean, that's got to be the nail in the coffin here. I mean, it's 6 goals a game. 6 goals a game. It's just 6 goals a game in a way we didn't want them to go.
No, definitely not. Again, though, we're still seeing glimmers of greatness of Wolves. So, for the guys at home, you've got to remember that everyone moves on into day 2. So, I'm still very hopeful for that, because I feel go away, have 24 hours to be able to talk it on out, fix some mistakes, and Wolves can come back stronger tomorrow. They have had their defense tested at every single step today so far, and that's not going to stop with Endpoint, you know? So this is basically Wolves going up against teams which statistically on paper and in every single, you know, facet should be the hardest teams to go up against.
I mean, these are the best teams in Europe, some of the best teams in the world, you know? It's a tough crowd. And Wolves have come into this, you know, with a lot of expectation, because it's a new roster and they want to impress, they want to feel good. And I'm sure it's hard to go into this day 1 and get 2 losses on the bounce. It will be interesting to see how they come in against Endpoint. But at that point, I think it's, you know, it's got to be all or nothing, guys. Just pipe up for the last series of the day, and hopefully we can get something. Endpoint, of course, a very different playstyle from Giants and Guild that we saw. So Giants and Guild, very strong defensive teams. Endpoint are incredibly aggressive with a player such as Virtuoso. Goes for the demos, goes for the physical plays, looks to disrupt. And that does sometimes often provide a little bit more space in the midfield, as Virtuoso is often very highly extended, overextended on the field. So could be a bit more space for Wolves to work with in the midfield.
So, yeah, let's try and cheer ourselves up here, Aiden. And I feel a good way to do that is with a giveaway. Guys, we're going to be giving away a Wolves hat, just a cap, you know. I'm a little bit annoyed now because ours are in the post. Like, we wish we could put these on today, but maybe tomorrow they'll arrive. Just waiting for them to get delivered. But you guys could get a free Wolves cap yourselves. !cap in chat, CAP. Put that in now, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, and just try and win one. I know it's free, just easy peasy. Of course, if you want even more chances to win some free merch, we also got a ball up for grabs. Head on over to Twitter and Instagram at Wolves Esports for a chance to win one there. And whilst we, you know, go in our little segment here, keep on typing it, !cap. Pretty sure you only get one entry anyway, but we'll let as many people in for a chance to win this. But Aiden, buddy, looking at that one, Guild really turned up, didn't they? We have to say this is a team that almost feels refreshed considering how they performed last season.
They're definitely more solid. I would say that, you know, you can see that they're having maybe less comm issues, and they're playing calmer. They're definitely playing calm, a bit more composed. But I did feel that they did at times play force. I think that Wolves play force as well. And this was a tough series to watch. It was there was quite a bit of ping pong, and a lot of goals coming for Guild were very easy, very cheap, long bangers. And I feel that Wolves were not totally informed for this one. I don't think that this was, a top tier Wolves performance. So it's hard to, then go and say how much better have Guild gotten based on this series alone. Of course, they did take Endpoint all the way. They won 3-2 against Endpoint. So that is a good sign for them. And maybe also a good sign for Wolves, given they took a game off of both Giants and Guild, and now Endpoint have lost 3-0 to Giants. So there could be something in that, but this one performance from Wolves, I think, was a little bit subpar.
It was indeed. And just quickly getting some results come on in from around the other pitches. Singularity have taken down Team Liquid 3-1. Now, for me, I'm surprised and not surprised about that. Liquid have not been on form for the last couple of months, and Singularity, like I said, weren't so sure about that move to Scrub Killer, but seems to have worked out there. Renault Vitality coming back hard after the loss to Redemption have just taken down Galaxy Racers 3-1 as well. So Renault Vitality are always one of those teams where they'll lose one and then come back even stronger, won't they? Because they sort of get angered, it feels like. So Redemption looking good right now, and Galaxy Racers probably looking to finish up mid-table for us. I'm looking towards the Endpoint game and going, look, we've got 25 minutes now. The lads will be able to relax, probably grab a drink, talk with Juicy, hence why we're not getting Juicy on in for an interview right now to talk about how it's gone, because we want the lads to be in the best position they can for that match against Endpoint. And looking towards that Endpoint match, Aiden, you do a bit of coaching, buddy. Like, what would you suggest needs to be changed up for this Wolves squad? So that, and talk us through it, because some of the guys at home probably might be able to take this away to their own games of Rocket League. They could be experiencing similar issues where they're just not able to break down this pressure that's being thrown at them from maybe teams that aren't doing it as well as Guild, but similarities in their ranked games.
Okay, so going into this game against Endpoint, it's very, very different from Giants and Guild. Giants and Guild, the way that you can try to get your way out of those sticky situations. I mean, the fact that Giants and Guild are very quick teams, they play high pressure, they defend well as well, they contest the ball in the midfield. It's hard to get out of your own half once they got you in there. But the one way that you do it is to keep the ball close, go for 50s, go for low 50s, and more often than not, you can keep that ball, keep possession. And then that will buy time for your teammates to pick up boost, get some more resources, and then feel a little bit more comfortable on the field, because you got to basically recover from being boost starved. Against Endpoint, it's a completely different story though, because Endpoint with Virtuoso, they play this very high aggro, physical demo play. You got Virtuoso demo chasing. Now, one benefit for Endpoint is then that they literally take players out from the field, and there's therefore less players to play against. However, it does then the benefit for Wolves, there will be more space in the midfield because there'll be one player downfield all the time. The risk, however, with Wolves is they do like to push up with a lot of players, and you cannot ever leave one man back against a demoing team, a physical team, because if there's only one man back, Virtue is going to demo him and it's an open net. You always need to have two back. And the other way to counter those demo play styles is and it's tough because, of course, this demo meta is very fresh still in Rocket League. It's been growing over, say, about a year now, and it was popularized with actually some content creators, and it was then pro players like Virtuoso sort of bringing it in to the pro scene, and he's really the guy that does it. Like, if you talk about demo chases, demo plays in the pro level, it's Virtuoso's the dude that does it. But you need to speed up your plays. If you're lingering, if you're slow, you're going to get demoed. You're going to get pushed off the ball by Virtuoso. So you need to speed up the plays. And this is where maybe the style that Wolves have been using against Giant and Guild could work quite well, because they've been playing these long, powerful balls downfield. And without that extra man in the midfield from Endpoint, given Virtuoso downfield, there may be a bit more space, and it might not get intercepted as much as it did against Giants. So be interested to see how Wolves go into this one.
It is, definitely. And that's, I think, what the idea was for today. Like, when we look at Wolves, I bet you they went, you know what, everyone makes it through today too. This is our very first week of the grid. Let's use this as a learning experience. And we can see some big changes in Wolves for the longevity of their game, but that spark of creativity then not being able to pull on out is probably what's hurting them there. So this change, perhaps it was, the entire goal was to try and build them up, learn where it goes right, and get ready for this Endpoint game, and that was the real objective. But we had an objective earlier. Try and hop on into chat and put !cap. We are going to be rolling this in a few moments. I am actually just going to give Juicy the call so he can roll it and see who comes out on top. Put it in chat right now. Aiden, I haven't seen you go into chat and do !roll. I'm quickly double checking this right now because we've already got caps on the way, buddy. So I don't want you trying to sneak out a second one. I know you too well for that.
I've never won anything. Like, in any giveaways or raffles in my entire life, I have not won anything. And it makes me so sad. It makes me sad. I'm like, well, can I just win one time? I don't think I've ever won anything in Rocket League either, to be fair. I'm just thinking of all the tournaments and leagues I played. I don't think I've won anything.
I still haven't won an in-game tournaments mode. So yeah, I keep getting to the semi-finals and that's it. But the winner of the cap, of course, is Samaj _2. Make sure to keep your Twitch. Can see you on Twitch there. Your Twitch whispers, I think they are called, you know, your little DMs open so that we can get in contact with you, buddy, and try and get your details so that we can send this cap on out to you. So once again, congrats to Smudge. Well done there. Make sure, of course, to tune in tomorrow. We'll have a couple more giveaways tomorrow. Of course, head on over towards Twitter and Instagram. Links can be found down below where we have even more opportunities to win some giveaways. We've got some more caps going on now, a couple of balls as well. Like those official Wolves balls, I can't wait. And I've got a little problem because whilst my dog isn't here now, I'm worried he might just chew up that ball. And, you know, I want to keep it pristine there, Aiden. Am I too selfish for that? I don't know.
Oh, the dog just wants to play.
It does, but it'll be torn to bits in like 2 days, I bet you. They do not last. But as well as that, why don't we answer a few questions from both Twitch and YouTube, because we are streaming to both platforms. So we've got Twitch chat open right now, and we also have in the background here our silent ninja, who won't be silent so much longer. Paul, buddy, are you there for us? The man behind the cameras?
I am, actually, yeah.
How are you doing today, dude? How are you enjoying all this? He's in our ears. Where is he? I can't see him.
I'm invisible, man. No, I'm enjoying this very much. Fun games, fun broadcast, fun to work with you guys, and, well, a lot of viewers, so welcome, everybody, and fun times.
So, Paul here is going to sort of work as, should we say, like a narrator, a moderator, perhaps, answering us questions, giving us questions, sorry, that you guys in chat are posing. If you're new to Rocket League, don't quite know what this is all about, be sure to go type that in Twitch chat right now. We're going to be able to answer any of the questions that you have. Like, first of all, Paul, I can see that from Crazied. Who do you think will win the next game? Well, I can quite easily say that. We think it's going to be Wolves, right, lads? Come on. It's not going to be anyone else. Endpoint can't beat us. Duh.
No, never.
But yeah, Paul, the floor is yours. Any questions you want to ask?
Let me see. I saw a question earlier. Who you think is the best Wolves player at the moment? From the Rocket League roster and the main football club roster.
Oh. Well,
I mean, the football club is easy, right? It's got to be Traore.
Adama Traore. He's faster than the Rocket League cars.
That's it. But player in the Rocket League side, do you want to go first, Aiden, or do you want me to go first? Like, who gets the saving grace to go second here, buddy?
It's such a tough question to answer. I mean, the thing is that on paper, I would have to say Rick's Ronde. Simply because he's got the experience, he's proven himself time and time again. He keeps qualifying I think, was it 4-5 times in a row he's qualified for the grid. The man keeps doing it. And so on paper, when it comes to actual achievements, 100% the best, you know. But if you're asking me who has the most potential, who is the most dangerous. I mean, for me, that would be a no-brainer. It's got to be Oli. Is mechanically so impressive, and I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him.
See, I'm there going for how solidified they are. I love Lewis P, and that might just be, a little bit of bias from when he was playing over on Edelweiss. Like, I absolutely love those Swiss lads, so he was able to join them, and it was great fun seeing them. But here on Wolves, Lewis just does like the silent jobs, if that makes sense. He is the real anchor to his team to keep them afloat. But you are right, the lad with the most potential has got to be Oli. I expect big things of him, and it's just all about bringing up his confidence. He's a lad that still needs to be polished up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's young. I think it was his birthday 1 or 2 days ago. I think he
16th,
just turned 17. So. So he is very young, and of course he's playing with Rix, who's a bit older, got a lot of experience. It's a perfect opportunity for him to grow as a player. I think in a team like Wolves as well. I think it's fantastic for him.
Paul, any other questions that you've found across the streams?
I'm scrolling very hard, my dude. Well, I just to I'd like to answer the previous question as well. Because from a producer standpoint, I've been working with Rix Ronde for quite some time. Even back in the Libertas days, I did the grid for Libertas as well. So, I mean, it's almost a crime for me to not say Rix Ronde. So, yeah, I mean, Rixie, my man, you gotta be my favorite player.
That's got to be a bit of favoritism and more friendship than anything.
I was kind of hoping you were leading into that, building up for it, but to then just go Lewis P.
No. I saw a question earlier, and it's not very technical. It's just for fun. Which RLCS or Rocket League team should have an in-game decal right now?
Again, easy. That's Wolves. I mean, we've seen the intro video. If we could get that on the car, that has got to be the best looking decal. I really want that.
It would be awesome to have a Wolves decal. I think the thing is, though, I don't think I've ever seen another football team have a decal on Rocket League, because I don't think FC Barcelona have had one.
Nope.
So I'm wondering if Wolves will get one or not. It might. Don't know if there's any sort of copyright issues there.
For a lot of people, back when PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, were in Rocket League, there was a decal made. You could get it through Backers, which is like a little bit of an add-on to the game. And it never got publicly released because there was issues, legally. The licensing. Apparently, the licensing of it. And so that same sort of problem was expected to come up with, or not expected to come up, but everyone thought it's the same deal there with Barcelona. So we're a little bit worried with Wolves, but we're hoping that they can see it on through and get a decal in game, because again, the colors are just absolutely banging. We want to see that fan-made one put on in. Heck, we might even have to go and try and get some fan-made ones and add them on into the game. Try and slip that on past Sonics. Probably won't be allowed. I'm going to be completely honest with it, but that's the way it is. But yeah, if it's not Wolves, who else do we think we'd love to see, lads? I want a Liquid decal. I really like Liquid, and again, the blue and white would be really nice.
No, I think that would look good as well. I want top blokes, and then I want a top hat and a mustache from a car.
Okay, that wins. That wins. I'll give it that.
I saw a question from CRX again, so thank you for all the questions, my dude. Who do you think is the best in defense right now?
Like just at Wolves, or
just stick to the Rocket League roster.
Yeah, I would say Rix Ronde again. I mean, he's quite often the third man. He's always very, very reliable when he's last man back. He reads the play very well, and I think down to his experience is where it comes from. He fills gaps very, very well. I think often you see him saving at the back when he's alone, and he's capable of getting out of sticky situations when he's the only person and buying time for his teammates. So I think Lewis P can fill that role as well, but I think that Rick's Ronde, he's just very consistent in it.
I've got to agree with you. When it comes down to that sort of clutch aspect, Rix does come out on top. Lewis is just more of your standard goalkeeper. He's doing the job the 90% of the time, but the real deal maker is Rix there. And this is where we sort of come into the issues with the team I see, is that to solidify into more certain roles, it makes it a bit harder, because we've seen what Rix can do up in attack, and then also in the midfield, and it's coming down to sort of, it feels harsh to say, but neutralizing the team, or like, you know, trying to stick them into specific points of, no, you do this now, or you do this. And no one wants that to happen to them as a player, but you're thinking there, perhaps to get this team to be more solidified, you have to give certain roles to each player, which is a hard thing to do within Rocket League, isn't it, Aiden?
No, absolutely. I mean, you can never define a player as this or that, right? Like, it's constant rotation. And if you guys, you know, if you don't know too much about Rocket League and you know more about football, if you know much about indoor football, you have 5 players that constantly rotate in sort of a circle, and that's kind of how it is in Rocket League as well. So everyone has to play, you know, every role, but then you can be a bit more competent at each one, you know. So, and I would say, yeah, Rix is that guy for Wolves at the back.
I'm also loving the chat right now, because I've seen it. The idea of like the Wolves goal explosions, like, because we haven't got esports item goal explosion. We've got the wheels and banners and that, but I love the idea of like there's just an explosion and the 3 wolves running out and howling. That would be so epic.
That would be
for a goal
spicy.
explosion. I want that. I as well. The Wolves logo would look really good as a banner, or you know, down below for a little player banner. That would be nice as well.
Yeah, it would be good to see more esports related stuff, because I feel like, you know what, the one thing that made me lose respect for Devo in that last series was his goal explosion. I can't believe people actually buy that goal explosion. It annoys me so much.
Oh, what is it? The rabbit girl one?
Yeah, like the anime goal with the heart and the sound it made. Oh god, it tilts me. Devo, stop scoring. I don't want to see it again.
So the one that actually tilts me the most, the goal explosion, is really weird, but it's the splash one.
Oh yeah,
because the whisper, it just creeps me out a little bit. Thank you, Aaron in chat as well says the splash explosion. It's just there, like, I love how it looks, but just quietly hearing it in your ear, just splash. That creeps me out. I hate, like, ASMR creeps me out as well. So it's just that sort of whispering in your ear. That's gives me the shivers.
I actually used Splash for so long because my teammates all hated it and they got really annoyed. So I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna keep using it with the Christmas boost and.
Oh, the Christmas boost as well. Yeah, the creepy ho ho hos are just wet. No, I don't like that.
Oh.
Don't like that. Oh. Like the Cupid boost as well is a very similar, like ding ding, or it's got like a weird, you know, chime to it, which just really weirds me out as well. I'm trying to think what other ones there are which are just odd. I'm going through the garage right now.
Oh, there's a lot. I think you've got the Ghostbuster stuff as well. The boost that just go. I'm not even going to try to imitate it.
Oh, the guacamole one where it like comes out squelching. Oh, yeah. Hate that so much. Like, it just does not sound nice.
I need a Wolves Nuno had a dream boost. What about Juicy had a dream?
Juicy had a dream. Looking at the Juice goal explosion. Oh, I love how the Juice goal explosion looks, but yeah, the cat engine sound. Oh, yeah, that annoys me so much. Motor Mouth as well.
Motor Mouth's amazing.
It's a good meme, but it's a meme. You don't want that around you consistently. It gets annoying.
All right, and I think we've waffled on a little bit about about our favorite and least favorite boosts. I think right now, guys, we're going to head to a short break. Thank you everyone for tuning in, but this is a good opportunity for you to get a glass of milk, some cookies, whatever floats your boat, and take a little break. We'll be back soon for Guild. No, sorry, Wolves versus Endpoint. So I'm still thinking about the last series. But we will be back in a bit.
Welcome Tizo.
Welcome Tizo.
Welcome Tizo to our global headphones partner. From ears to heart.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, you saw it right there. We have a 25% discount going on over at the Wolves shop right now. So make sure you quickly head on over and pick up on that discount. Be able to get even some shirts like this. I absolutely love our Wolves polo shirts. Also, the jerseys, you know, hats and scarves, everything is pretty much, I'm pretty sure everything, I think it's just apparel, but is 25% off right now, so make sure to head on over and snag some goodies. But for us, Aiden, we're heading on over probably to Manfield night, because it's always Manfield night in Rocket League, ain't it? But we're heading on over to face up against Endpoint, which is going to be such a stellar match. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Wolves have the right playstyle for Endpoint, for playing against Endpoint. Now, we haven't had some very good results so far against Giants and Guild, but we're on the same game difference as Endpoint now. So both Endpoint and Wolves have won 2 games and dropped 6, meaning that if that's anything to go by, then we're on pretty even footing. And I would say, you know, Endpoint, as we mentioned earlier, the demo plays, you got to play quick, and that's one thing that Wolves do. They play quick, they get forward fast, and they will have their best chances here against Endpoint, I think, that they've had all day. So it would be nice to get a win. It would be nice in the first week that Wolves are in the grid, and then the first day that we get a win. Of course, it was always going to be a tall order to get our first win in our first game against Giants, but I think here against Endpoint, this is our best chance today.
So, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Endpoint, 3-2 loss against Guild, but against Giants, 3-0 loss there, and only being able to take 4 goals away from Giants. Guild was a very close affair, like I said, going all the way to game 5, but that was the start of the day. So, it's going to be an interesting one. For me, Endpoint look like they're probably not on form today. So, perhaps Wolves will be able to create the upset. Because like we said, coming into this one today, Endpoint were looking to probably be the second favorite team. You're already getting upset by Giants and Guild. So this is battle for third. Even Stevens, when it comes out as third seed, going on into that the single elim tomorrow. And you're right, this is going to be definitely an interesting one. Wolves just have to make sure that they can handle the demo game that is going to be thrown at them by most likely Virtuoso, but we've also seen both Leighton Wave and Metsonaris throughout demos when they want to, right?
Oh, definitely. A very physical team. And when they first started that play style a couple splits ago, where they really sort of solidified it. They were very dangerous. People just didn't know how to deal with it, didn't see it much at that level. But at the moment, as Endpoint, as you said, not really informed today. And of their last 10 games that they've played, they've only, or their last 10 series even that they've played, they've only won 3. And they've lost to FC Barcelona recently, which was a team that did not even make it out the close qualifiers. They lost 3-0 to Try Hard. They've been dropping a lot of results, and so it would look good for Wolves at the moment. I think Wolves are on a lot more confidence. Maybe not specifically today, but in a longer run, I think that Wolves have had better results, more confidence to go into this series with.
Yeah, and it's just a case of looking at it so far. This week, in its own little closed shell, has sort of been a little bit of a slump. Unfortunately, not getting a win. But you look back over the run in both the open and closed qualifier, as well as the field last week, and Wolves are on a massive high. It just comes down to this is a team still trying to work out its own gameplay style. Like we said, we're seeing a lot more of a defensive game coming into today, and that's naturally going against what the lads want to play naturally, so they're trying to work it on out, so they're going to be at a little bit of disadvantage. But I have got to praise the lads for trying to bring out this new gameplay style in such a high intensity environment, which is one which they look at it today and go, well, we're secure into tomorrow, so if we're going to use this and learn from it, we're going to get the most information here and now against some of the top teams, and it should reward them further down the line. It's just using the early stages of this tournament and going, you know what, we're fine to drop it now. We'll get the comeback in 2 weeks' time in week 2, or heck, they could even turn it around. They love single limb brackets where it is no safety. That somehow gives Wolves life, doesn't it? That's when there is no safety net below them, where it backs up against the wall, will somehow shine. They need that pressure, it seems.
They love a lower bracket run.
Yeah. They scare us. We hate them for it, but we also love that they can pull it off. So who knows? I would be there, like, even going in as, say, 16th seed tomorrow, which I don't think is going to happen. Let's be real. But even going in as the worst team tomorrow, just because of how seeding goes, I would still have all the confidence in Wolves to be able to pull it off.
Absolutely. I think, as with anything, any competitive platform, is that anything can happen. You can go either way. It's like, in football, the FA Cup magic, when you see a non-league team reach the quarterfinals. And Wolves are by no means a non-league team in terms of Rocket League. They are up there right now with the top 16 teams. This is obviously the grid, and you've got teams in here that are possibly some of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, definitely. And when we stack up against them, it's that case of you can't just say it's going to be a win or even a loss, because it just comes down to who's playing in that one specified scenario, who is playing the strongest game.
Yeah, and in the end of the day, if we take a couple of L's today, it's not just a bad thing. Of course, it's hard to improve when you keep winning every series 3-0. But if you're taking losses, you've always got space and room to improvement. You've got the ability to watch the replays, look back and analyze those mistakes. And so I'm sure that they're going to have maybe they won't do it quite this evening, but tomorrow I'm sure they're going to be spending quite a bit of time looking through the replays against Giants and Guild to see what went wrong and how to come back stronger in week 2.
Yeah, so looking at this, we're just waiting for one of the lads to get on in. We are ready to play. Just waiting for us to be thrown on into this lobby. Pretty exciting stuff. Looking at it, again, I don't want to put any predictions on down just because we don't know for sure. Endpoint are going to be in the very similar result to us. So this is both teams probably going to be playing quite a scrappy style, I'd imagine here, Aiden.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a very high-paced game, very end-to-end. I think that Wolves are going to keep the speed that they've been playing with today. I know that they've been throwing away possession quite a bit, but I think this is a game in which they can actually afford to play those long-seeking balls, because I think that the midfield is going to be a little bit less contested, and I think that if you want to avoid those demos, you've got to keep moving, you've got to get forward quickly. So I expect that Wolves are going to be set up with the right play style for this one.
Will indeed. So with that, we're going to be quickly hopping on into the lobby, into the pitch, and get things underway. Here we go. So we get underway. 5 minutes up on the clock, a best of 5 once again. Wolves, of course, in the orange. And that leaves Endpoint to their traditional blues. And already under some great pressure. Brilliant start from Wolves. Rick's unexpected that to go into the mid, but turns around quite well. Gotta be able to get onto this. No! The own goal. Oli did not expect that to come so deep into net.
Well, this is a very, very quick start. Virtuoso just banging that one back into the middle. Metsonoris, it's a fantastic follow, and, you know, it's a good shot. It's hard to keep out, and it's a very, very strong start for Endpoint, and only 17 seconds gone. Well, Oli getting beaten there on the 50, and it's Virtuoso in front of net, but he gets the whiff. Rix Ronde also whiffing. Metsonoris was just lurking in the midfield. Rix Ronde going to play that down for Lewis P, who gets the bounce down, but can't get it on target. Oli with a great pass to Rix Ronde, blocked away by Metsonoris, and that ball is dropping the defensive third, and no one really seemed to want to have it from Endpoint. Very, very questionable here, relating wave, just watching this one float, and Virtuoso as well. Metsonoris didn't want it either, and Oli will say thank you very much. That'll be the 1-1.
Yeah, Virtuoso there just happened to cover, and unfortunately it's a little bit too late. But what on earth happened there? What's another kickoff goal? This hurts so much.
I mean,
It's
Lewis
one of
P
those
just
things.
following so aggressively there. I mean, this is when I coach lower ranked players, I say don't follow too high up. Just creep up slowly, because if we lose the kickoff hard, you don't have time to react. And Lewis P did not have time to react there, and that's a really cheap goal to give away. And it seems to be the way. It's a fantastic demo on Virtuoso, a taste of his own medicine, and that will be 2-2.
Brilliant stuff coming on out there. The demo was inspired, and an easy peasy cleanup for Rix Ronde. Aiden, this is definitely heating on up. Both teams happy to bring out demos. I don't know why it took until now for Wolves to bring out their own demos, but better later than never, I say.
Yeah, well, maybe, hopefully they don't come to regret it. The demoed Virtuoso, maybe that'll light a fire inside him. It's relating wave up against Oli there. Oli with a good challenge. Virtuoso on this corner, trying to play that to the backboard. Lewis P going to play that out to Rix Ronde, beaten by Metsonoris. They're going to drop in a dangerous place, but no one there to seek for the shot. And Virtuoso now looking for those demos, chasing Oli around. Oli does not care about it as he goes for the air dribble from one side of the field to the other, eventually being blocked out on that other side. And, well, Wolves playing quickly as expected, and Virtuoso, well, he hasn't got many demos so far. Relating Wave will pick one up on Oli, though, and that was a chance to pass in the middle. Again, it's absolutely ridiculous. They make it 3-2, and Wolves are in the lead.
Oh, we absolutely love this. Super Rixie playing his opponent like a fiddle. And what a tune. What a goal coming out for Wolves right there. It's not even been 2 minutes. We've already had 5 goals in this match. Nice little link over towards Virtuoso, but Rix Ronde once again in defense saves the day.
Wow.
No, Lewis. No, Lewis. No, Lewis. No, don't do it. Oh. He just stepped away to take a breather. Was not expecting this to come on in.
Need a cash off. No.
Again? What are these kickoffs going in favor again? Chasing up way too deep. Relay and Wave did a great job there to just stall it, and Oli couldn't get high enough. Oh. I drop a hat, just turning around. Feels bad, man. No, Lewis.
Oh, you know what? We might be 4-3 down now. Might be 5-3 down, but at least we're having fun. And I don't know what's quite happened.
Why is that profile pic as well? Why?
with the angry doggo. Well, we were 3-2 up, and now we're 5-3 down. This game is going absolutely mental. You know, we had 6 goals a game in the last series, but now we've already got 8, and we haven't even seen half the game yet. Can these two teams calm down just so we can get a break and actually get a sentence in before the ball hits the back of the net?
If it goes into the back of the Endpoint net, I don't give a damn, Aiden. Like, we'll allow that. Oh, good patience, Lewis B. Beautiful stuff in defense room. Like I said, the anchor of this team, Metza, trying to get that over to Relay and Wave. Lewis to the corner. Rix, you got to pick this on up. But again, Boost is getting stolen away, this time by Metza. The 50-50 only gets around to mid, but a little bit too powerful. And Lewis P cannot finish it off.
Well, early with the challenge that goes to the corner. Metsonoris is going to play that back into the corner. Rick's running, getting a very odd pinch. Somehow Lewis P's got a read on it. Will go for the 50 in the midfield. Oli now going up quick from the ceiling. Gets the flip reset, and then the shot denied by Virtuoso. But a little bit of magic coming out from the young lad, Oli. Lewis P now popping this one back up again. And this is a very, very heated game. It's like fireworks.
Yeah, definitely a fair few banger of goals already, but here we need to see a couple more. Wolves, come on, lads. Vamos! 2 more just to get us to overtime. Nearly was free. These attacks coming on in from Endpoint are stellar, but that's a good exit ball. The follow-up from Rix coming on through, but that touch is so light. Lewis P needs to stay back. Only just trying to dislodge the play. The hit from Metzer a bit too high, and Relay and Wave wanting to keep pressure downfield, but demoed for his attempts. Rix needs to keep this under his control. Good 50-50, but only has to retreat back into defense. Cannot overextend it.
I don't even know what to say about this game so far. It is so quick, but that's a fantastic...
No.
Lewis, no!
Yes, Rix! Okay, again, this is why Wolves send all 3 into attack to finish it off. Remove the defenders because they've got to go and make 2 jumps. The third man not quick enough. Get back, and Rix will be able to finish it off. 40 seconds left to go. 1 goal still needed from Wolves. Can the lads turn it round? Oh, that was scary from Lewis once again. He has been close to making a few saves, and it is pretty scary, but it's only game 1. 20 seconds remain. Get this quick count now, and that's a brilliant ball downfield. Rix Ronde to the corner, but Virtuoso is there.
15 seconds left. That's time, at least, for these 2 teams to get another 2 goals, I'm sure. Oli trying to get it past. Still remains 5-4. Lewis P under pressure here. And now the shot coming out. It's a good block by Lewis P. Can they keep it up? Oli trying to get over to it. It's going to be played down to the corner, but it will drop, and Endpoint take game number 1.
Metzler could have kept it up. I have just lost all respect for him. Not following rule 1. I mean, if there's an iron, we'd be like, get it to ground. Don't let it go up. So, all fairness there. But yeah, like, that was probably the weirdest game of Rocket League I've seen in a long time. That game had everything.
It was just intense. It was one of the most intense things I've seen all year, and not surprising because I've spent the entire year sitting in my apartment because of Corona lockdown. But
I mean, what a way to spend lockdown. Well, I couldn't imagine it being any better, to be honest. Some great Rocket League playing out here for our enjoyment. Good block coming on out. Oli's absolutely sending this one. Good blocks. Rix, Lewis turning on around to it. Can he just reclaim it? No. Buys time, allows his teammates to get defense and get boost.
Well, only they're getting a block on Virtuoso, but it's not going to be enough to win the ball back. And this time we've gone almost 30 seconds without seeing a goal yet. So you know what? No, never mind. We did not manage to go 30 seconds without a goal. Relating way will make it 1-0 for Endpoint. And the speed that this game is being played at, I'm hoping that you can't be baited into this. Like you got to try and remain composed, play your game, but it's so quick out there. And, well, Endpoint getting the 1-0 and Wolves trailing again.
Oh, just on the line. Oh, that was a great connection between Rix and Oli. Completely calculated, I'll tell you that right now. They meant to do it like that. Rix definitely as well meant to just fly by. He was going for the boost steal in the opponent's half. Don't quite know what he's doing up on the wall, but he'll get the connection with that over towards Lewis P, who is now going to try and run it into the corner from Virtuoso, who's sticking on it with 0 boost, looking to get this away. Can only run it. That's a good bounce out. We need a third man here. Rix, unfortunately, a little too late. That's a good pass out, but Lewis cannot get it on target.
Wolves, not for lack of trying now. They got mounting a little bit of pressure relating with trying to get this one away. Will play down to Virtuoso in the corner with a great pass back by Virtuoso. The give and go, and the Metsaurus puts it back, and it's a fantastic play by Endpoint. You've got to give it to them. There's 1 pass, 2 passes, 3 passes, and then Virtuoso to finish it off into those upper Benjamins. That's an incredible play by Endpoint. Take a bow. And of course, we don't love to see it. We'd love to see Wolves not going even further behind, but well done by Endpoint.
We're talking about still 3:30 left in this one. Can turn it around right now. 2 players really overextended. Lewis P looking to run it. You've got Oli waiting around in the mid as well, but he was not ready for this. Up the wall. Demo onto Lewis P. Rix has got to seal the deal here. Double commit up in the air, and unfortunately no connection with the net. Good little boost steal, and Oli will be able to stick around on this one. Hello. Not got the pace to keep up with it, unfortunately.
He's got some great control though, and also great ideas, really creative in the attacking third. The demo coming out there on Metsaurus from Lewis P, trying to give Endpoint a taste of their own medicine. Rix Ronde able to keep this one close with the pinch. Metsaurus now trying to get it away from the backboard. Challenged by Lewis P. It's a great challenge by Lewis P, but only isn't able to keep up with it, and now a little bit of danger brewing as Virtuoso's on the ball, looking to get it in field again, but it's Lewis P responding quick, and he will carry this to the backboard. Maybe the double tap, it is there, but it's not on target, and Metsaurus will attempt to get it away, but the pressure keeps coming from Wolves. It's a good string of play, and Lewis P, yes Lewis, not no Lewis, but yes Lewis, makes it 2-1 with half the game to go.
Yes, indeed. Lewis P pleasing our eyes with what was a beautiful aerial shot off the wall, sending it straight to net. 2:20 left in this right now. 1 goal still to be found by Wolves to send us into OT, but we know there will be 2. No need for overtimes here. And now relating wave. Virtuoso bringing out those demos. They can feel the threat. Oh, spicy.
That was so dicey. Holy. Rix Ronde will eventually get it away, trying to get it. There's a great dunk as well. They go in the midfield. Virtuoso having a hard time getting it away. Oli now, a bit of pressure from Virtuoso again, and the demo coming high up, relating wave, trying to get the shot away, but that's blocked again. But he does eventually tap it towards goal. Virtuoso is just lurking, but isn't able to finish it off. Norris keeping this attack going. That's coming into the middle again. Oli there with the block. Lewis P now sitting back, getting it over Virtuoso. Lewis P with the carry. Now, Rix Ronde trying to drop that down for Oli. It's a good pass back into the middle for Lewis P, but they couldn't quite finish the move. Wolves are testing Endpoint here, trying to get that equalizer, but it's still gone missing.
That's it. These demos coming out. Everything is just to try and halt Wolves. Endpoint know that the thunder is coming. They can hear it off in the distance. They saw the flash. Just have not heard it yet. Ball connects, and that looked way too easy. Where was your third man, Endpoint? Off getting demos?
Well, Oli's going to be happy. because he's had plenty of opportunities here in game 2. Now he does make it all level. They still need a winner, Wolves, and to go, they would not want to go 2 games down in this best of 5. Once you're 2 games down, your opponent therefore on match point. They need to get this game back now, make it 1-1 in the series, tie it up, and then start bringing the pressure in game 3 and carry the momentum. They got a bit of defending to do now as Endpoint are looking to create something. Now the pass coming middle. The relating wave will cut that out in the midfield, and Wolves need to find a way through. 30 seconds of regular time to go. We may see an overtime in this game, but judging by the rate these 2 teams score, I'm sure we won't head into the overtime. Metsanor now onto that back ball with the vibe check. Will be played away long to the midfield. Metsanor is trying to keep this close, but will get challenged, and that's going into the danger zone, but can keep it away. Oli with the challenge. Only a few seconds to go here. We will likely get an overtime as Lewis P plays that to the wall. Trying to control that, but it will drop. We will head into overtime.
So, is this our first overtime of the day? I'm just trying to think right now.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Let's go Wolves. Turn this around. We have won both game 2s of the day, so you know what? That pattern's going to keep strong. I'm telling you now. Oh, Lewis just a little bit in front. Bree jumped it a bit too soon. Lewis once again getting the touch. Rix is up. Overly moving downfield. And Metzer is in a dangerous position. Lewis, you've got to get on that, and just does. The skin of his teeth, though. This is some pressure from Endpoint.
Well, Endpoint have been playing high pressure, so have Wolves. At the midfield almost being completely ignored in this series. It's Oli now trying to get it away, but then challenged again quickly. And out on the other side, Virtuoso will get a soft dunk. Wolves now trying to play it out. That's Norris with the challenge again. And that's relating wave going out to put Lewis P under pressure. Virtuoso will get it back in field. It's dangerous. It's there. It's in. An Endpoint win in overtime.
We need to go get some like raid or something, some bug spray, because Virtuoso is so annoying right now, buzzing around the net, buzzing around our players. Leave them alone, lads. But you're right, game 2 going in favor of Endpoint. Where do we go from here? It's got to be the full reverse. We did say it earlier though. Wolves do like a bit of a challenge, don't they?
Well, we were talking earlier about how they love a lower bracket run and stuff like that. Well, you know what? Maybe now that they've dropped down and put Endpoint on match point, Endpoint on match point, I just realised how that sounds. And Wolves now have a tall order. They got a lot of work to do, a lot of pressure, and it's squeaky bum time, as they'd call it in football.
Is indeed. So they've got to turn it up. The lads in orange, the Wolves, have got to start howling. Get the pack together and on the same page. Let's do this. 5 minutes up on the clock. Let's go. It's going to be a dangerous one here on for the Wolves, lads. Cannot drop anything. Got to continuously keep hammering away at these shots. Find a way to defend everything. It's been a bit of a quiet first minute, have broken out the attack. Not really a controlling game, it's got to be said here, Aiden.
No, indeed. Well, Metsanor is going to make it 1-0, and I think that every game we've had a goal before 30 seconds have passed, and it's just the way these 2 teams go at it. It's high, intense stuff. 1-0 for Endpoint, not a good start for Wolves in game 3. They've got a lot of work to do, and they've just made it that little bit harder for themselves.
So, once again on that defense relay and wave, be gone, lads. Oli, you've got it right in front of the line, but Lewis P keeps strong, keeps it away. Rix Ronde back in defense, and it is getting nervy right now. Rix with the 50-50. The demo from Virtuoso once again. Endpoint are bringing their A game, and Wolves have got to be careful. That's a good block on out, but Rix can't keep a hold of this ball.
Ritz was demo chasing there as he just shoved that ball to the side, expecting his teammate to go for it, but he didn't quite continue that attack. And now Lewis B chasing this one. Oli will get it in field. Virtuoso with the block. That's going middle. Lewis B now on the challenge. Sonora's going to play this high, but Rick's Ronde rises to the occasion. He's going to get that to the corner. Looks to continue with the double, but can't quite get on the end of it. Oli now the only one back as Luis and Rix will rush back, but it's a great outplay by Oli with the soft catch, just a little feint to throw off his opponent. Oli is in the middle, doesn't even need to touch it as it bounces in. And you know what? The proof is in the pudding. The pudding is in the ball, and the pudding is all over the goalkeeper's face. No one getting on the end of that one. Rick's getting a free goal to make it 1-1.
They do indeed. So, time to turn it up even more. Let's go to 11, Wolves. Hit on out. Metzer is there. That is dangerous, but above the net. Early will get away. Can he go on the run? That's a good 50-50 over towards Rick's Ronde, who's getting hounded by Relay and Wave. Metzer just looking to go straight to net, but Oli will get the save on in. Wanted the second touch as well, but the lads are going to have to get that way. Good connection between Lewis B and Rick's Ronde, but Virtuoso once again get the bug spray on out because he is a pest getting those interceptions.
Well, it comes in the middle from Relating Wave again, and Virtuoso will retake the lead for Endpoint. And Wolves today, they've been having a hard time keeping the score either level or staying ahead. Keep throwing it away, and it's like they've receded back into this sort of game or strategies that they had in the open and closed qualifiers, where it's like, let's just keep attacking, and taking one too many risks. And when you take so many risks against the top 16 teams in Europe, you can get punished very easily, and they get punished again. Virtuoso making it 3-1.
Not a pretty sight right now. Good connection to Relay and Wave and Virtuoso, but the lads have got to be stopping that in its tracks. They've got to find a way to turn things around here. Still half a game left to go, and that is one of 2 goals needed. A silver lining.
With a demo over ball, I think.
just straight up beat him there.
No, kill the opponent. Let the ball. Don't want it. Don't want it.
At the end of the day, we'll take it. It's just made the job of Wolves a little bit easier, but nothing taken for granted right now as the ball makes its way out towards the mid. Rix can't get the touch, but Lewis is there, and Virtuoso has read it so well. It's like he had a magnet attached to his car to attract the ball there.
Sorry, is this Rumble?
It's somewhat feeling that way. Virtuoso with the knockout. Virtuoso once again speaking of the devil with big clearance downfield. Lewis wanted the second touch, but no. Oli was so close to that. Rix with so little boost, needs to just get this over, but no. Again, the finesse just slightly missing. The polish still needing to be found here from Wolves. They're close to excellent.
It's, you know, threading that needle. It was such a stretch for both Rix and Oli. But Endpoint, they extend their lead again, doubling it from a 1-goal lead to a 2-goal lead. And, well, Wolves right there did not pass the vibe check, as it was an easy read from Relating Wave from that backboard bounce. And, well, 4-2 here in game 3 with Endpoint on match point. Is not the position that Wolves wanted to find themselves in.
No, it is not at all. And this defense, I hate it so much. With fans of Wolves, naturally, you know, with the casters, that's what we put on, but at the same time, that means we are going to be the biggest critics, you know, because we've got so much passion between the side. And this side right now is starting to crumble. You absolutely hate to see it, Aiden.
You hate to see it. You do hate to see it. We're conceding a lot of games in this series, and I think that Wolves, well, after dropping the series to Giants and Guild in the fashion which they did, only getting 1 game win in each of those series. Their confidence looks a little rattled, and they're not playing composed. Their Endpoint have come into this series playing at 120% speed, and I feel like Wolves have gotten sucked into this reckless sort of forced play, and the game is moving very quickly. And Oli still got stuff to show though.
That is it. I said it earlier, more of these solo plays, and Oli there has got so much talent. You can see it. We just want to see more of it.
Well, 5-3. It may only be a consolation goal from Oli. We will see, though, that it's 2 goals in 30 seconds. It's very possible. The rate these teams have been scoring, can't put it past them. Virtuoso, though, not able to get it through the midfield. Rix Ronde is going to get it into the corner. Oli turning quickly on that mid boost. Takes the corner as well. Going to bop it high, but Metzner is getting the demo on Oli, and now they could be a little booster when Oli respawns, because I think all of the big boosts just got taken by Oli himself. Oli then going up against 2 in the corner, and it's all over for Wolves today as they lose all 3 series. And in this one against Endpoint is where I thought they would have the best chance, but in the end, they didn't take a single game.
No, it is sad stuff for the Wolves, lads. They're going to be coming back tomorrow, stronger, no doubt. Of course, big Fs. It's fine. Like I said, you got to think this is a team that has only just newly made it on through to the grid, newly formed together, so it is all learning experience. And like we said, from the games earlier on, you could see this was a team that purely went out with the mindset to experiment and try new things. So I don't want to be harsh on the lads. You learn more in defeat than you do in victory. And going up against these teams, it is not something to be put down. On paper, they should have won all of these series. And we were just massively hyped because we absolutely love the lads. Of course, they're your team. You're going to cheer them on for victory. But at the end of the day, you know, it is a bitter pill as well. And you've just still got to swallow it, take it into tomorrow, and play with all the passion you can, because it is going to be a tough task tomorrow. But I truly, like I said, believe that Wolves can come back even stronger if they have their day, because this is a team that is still very inconsistent. We've seen that inconsistency throughout different games in a single series here, haven't we, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I think you can come to expect that. I think everyone in the chat, thank you, of course, for supporting the boys with us. But let's all, remind ourselves that Wolves Esports have only been in Rocket League for 21 days. And then when you think about it like that, you put it like that, and then realize we're in the top 16 right now, playing in the grid and going up against some of the best teams in the world, the best teams in Europe, and they are playing, they are competing. It's going to be a work in progress, absolutely. As this team is new, 21 days old. Rix Ronde, Oli, Lewis P still getting to know each other. And as Bacon said ever so well, you learn more in defeat than you do in victory. And with a coach like Juicy, I'm sure he'll be able to keep these boys level-headed and keep working on those mistakes and able to use all of the knowledge you can take from these losses to continue improving. We've seen Wolves come a long way from the qualifiers, the team that they were on day one of the open qualifiers compared to the way they played in the closed qualifiers was massive improvements. And of course today they played against Giants. They came third last split, in Europe, their top 4 team in general. And then we played against Guild, another very strong team. So, and then Endpoint, you can't mess with them either, as they just showed us.
And it is that case of Wolves sacrificed a little bit of their attack today to try and work on that defense, but it then threw their game a little bit off kilter. So there's going to be a lot of talks going into tomorrow, like you said, alongside Juice to the coach, to figure out what is their best game. So make sure, guys, you come back same time tomorrow of 4 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. CET, 11 a.m. East Coast. of America to catch even more Wolves actions and see this team playing day 2 of the very first week of the grid. I'm looking forward to tuning in tomorrow. But of course, make sure to head on over to the online shop, guys at home, so you can grab some of the good goodies. So just shop.wolves.co.uk. We've currently got 25% off a whole range of products, including, you know, our junior kits, the home and away adult jerseys. Unfortunately, the third jersey, which is absolutely sweet, is not included in that just because we don't have the stock for it currently. You know, absolutely selling out rapid. So make sure as well you head over there fast to get your gear before it's gone out with this sale. You can head on down below either Twitch or YouTube to get even more information if you just want a simple link there. And of course, make sure to go download the Wolves app. Make sure as well to head on over to both Twitter and Instagram. We held a little giveaway for one of the Wolves caps earlier today. Tomorrow we're probably going to be doing a giveaway for a Wolves ball, so make sure to tune in tomorrow, enter into the giveaway there, as well as over on Twitter and Instagram. You can just join into that giveaway either today or tomorrow, so be sure to get on into it, because of course you got to be in it to win it. But for both myself, Digital Bacon, and Aiden, joined by Paul, of course, behind the scenes, the silent ninja running the cameras, it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you tomorrow for even more Rocket League action here on Wolves Esports.
I'm turning